that party I went to?
No, I didn't. I didn't read anything. What did you do?
Yeah, it was in the paper that I was there, but this was pretty cool. Over vacation, I got invited to John Bon Jovi's house, who we've known for like 20-something years, John, you know.
Yeah.
And I'd gone to his house last year, and he had a dinner party, and he even said to me, he goes, man, I blew it. He goes, I didn't have any food.
How do you have a dinner party with no food?
Like, he just kind of like had people over for drinks and some shitty hors d'oeuvres.
Oh.
And he even called me up, and he goes, I'm having a party this year. He goes, but don't worry, I got
He figured it out this year.
Yeah, and I went, well, what are you doing right? He goes, you know, I got a little band set up, and I got food, and I got everything, you know. So I said, I'll come anyway. You know.
Give him a second chance.
I'll give you a second chance. And I had my 14-year-old daughter with me and her friend Sarah, and you know, I said, hey John, can I bring the kids? And he was like, yeah. So I go over there, and there's like, he's got a whole setup, you know, like nice friggin' tables and shit.
Is this out on the lawn?
Out on the lawn at his house. And so, like, I'm there, and like, it was like one superstar after another starts for. First, I see like the governor of New Jersey, Jon Corzine, who I knew nothing about. And I got to tell you, is like the greatest guy ever.
What do you mean he's the greatest guy?
I'm telling you, this guy.
I've heard some not so good things.
Really? What have you heard? Because I'm telling you, he is terrific.
Well, you get bowled over by everybody you meet.
You would too, though. This guy you would, though. This guy you would.
All right,
that's why they're politicians.
Oh, it's true. What's so great about him?
Because he's the most down-to-earth politician I ever met. He was like a business guy who did really well and seems to like really care. I mean, like he was talking about some of the shit he's doing in Jersey. I was like, whoa, the guy's really way into the gig.
He lives right next to me.
He was the one who rushed back to the 𝗦𝗵cie meeting and almost killed himself.
He even talked about it. That was so stupid. He goes,
yeah, that's why I'm wondering about his judgment.
No. You would really like this guy. I know you would.
I'm sure I would, but I like having my distance from these people.
Yeah, well, anyway, let me tell you about this party. So I'm standing there, and you know, with parties, I'm always like on edge because, you know, we goof on a lot of people.
And yeah, you never know when you're going to run into somebody you've forgotten how badly you goofed on.
So then, like, you know, I see like Matt Lauer and his wife. No, Matt I'm cool with.
Yeah, but they've had a lot of trouble in that marriage. At least that's what the tabloids say.
Yeah, you know. But they were fine. They were there.
Hopefully they can keep that at home.
Yeah, they don't break up in the middle of the party.
Don't bring that to John.
I saw Brian Gumbel and his wife Hillary, and I saw, you know, like there's sort of like a usual crowd out there in the Hamptons. You know, they're all people who own homes out there, so they all kind of.
I didn't know the Gumbels were out there.
Yeah, they're out there. They're nice people. You know, he's cool with me, and I'm cool with him, and. Then, you know, and then all of a sudden, like some, like, heavy people started to show up, like Paul McCartney, Billy Joel.
Really?
Paul was there? I'm walking through the house, and I run into Roger Waters from Pink Floyd.
Wow.
And I'm sitting and talking to him and his wife, and it was kind of a really fun, cool, you know me at parties. I'm like, and then I'm walking over, and my daughter says to me, hey, Dad, can you introduce me to Bruce Springsteen? So I go, is he here? So this is like Artie's wet dream. So I go over, because I met him once before, you know, for a second. And all of a sudden he's like, hey, Howard, how you doing? We talked for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. We're talking about, he's like, you know, talking about like he can go to his old hometown. And I told him, you know, Artie lives in Jersey and you live in Jersey. And I told the governor that too, you know.
Yeah, that's my governor.
Actually, the governor lives like really close to me.
Yeah, he's a Hoboken guy.
Yeah, he's right
that's what
there.
He said.
I see him all the time.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm talking to Bruce for like a long time until then he pulled the move where he goes, I got a phone call here. I got to take this. Got to go somewhere quiet.
Really?
Yeah.
So he blew you off, you think?
Well, yeah, but it was appropriate. I mean, we had
it was
enough.
It was going nowhere. I was getting into my Roosevelt stories about my hometown. And it was
Roosevelt, Long Island.
I don't think he wanted to bond that much.
I thought you meant the president.
No.
Yeah, Howard, the goddamn blacks. I get it.
Oh, my phone is ringing.
I wanted to ask him if he would do American Idol or not to solve that problem.
Please,
for
you have no idea that this is my greatest torture. The show is starting up again, and Bruce has an album out, and I'm like, is there anybody in the business who could talk him into it? And first of all, did you read? Well, what scared me the most is I read this amazing article about Rick Rubin in the New York Times magazine. Did you read that?
Yes.
And I'm reading it going, and he's praising how relevant now.
American Idol is?
Well, Columbia Records hired Rick Rubin to save the music business, and he's saying how relevant America's Got Talent and American Idol is. And I was thinking of that exact same thing. Is someone going to talk Springsteen into an American Idol?
When I read that article, I said, Dave, Springsteen might be smart to do it. But I get the feeling he won't do it because I was talking to him and Billy Joel.
Right.
And Billy was talking about how he got paid a ton of dough to do some sort of wedding or something, and I looked over and Bruce was kind of like,
he would never do that.
The whole wedding thing?
Yeah, I got a feeling
he has some integrity left.
Yeah, and it was kind of like, well,
supposedly he's never done it. There's never been one even like quiet instance of a corporate gathering where he's done
a personal
I don't think
party thing.
I don't, unless it was a charity.
Yeah, but
something.
Bruce does weird shit for his kids. Like it turns out the reason he was out in the Hamptons, his daughter is a horseback jumper, and she was in the Hamptons Classic, and he went all the way out there, and he's hanging out there with her.
Well, that's not weird for a dad to show up at his kids' event.
I don't say that, but I'm saying he might even want to impress his kids and go on American Idol.
Well, that's how they wind up.
That's
there.
right.
Yes.
It sucks for me and Robin as homeowners of the Jersey Shore that Springsteen and Bon Jovi are in the Hamptons with you guys.
Well, that's what Corzine was saying. He was like, "Is this?"
He's over there recruiting them to come back.
Right.
Hey, did you guys ever speak? Did you and Springsteen ever speak about satellite radio at all? And like his whole, because supposedly his new album, the first single, mentioned satellite radio and all that other shit.
No, I didn't talk to him about that. And then, so let me tell you about this. So then I'm walking around and I run into, so who do I see walking in? Chevy Chase.
Oh!
Now there's something that could go either way.
Yeah, I did see him in California, and we worked our shit out.
Right.
And it was no big deal, but Janie was with him, the wife, who evidently, like, I heard...
She's still on the warpath.
Yeah, it hates me, so I saw Chevy, and it was great. You know, we had a really good conversation, quite frankly. And then all of a sudden, Janie came up to me, and we worked our shit out, too.
Oh, did you have a peace talk?
Yeah, so I was trying to describe to Beth how bad things were between me and Chevy and Janie and the history of that whole thing on our show. So I'm going to bring her a tape so she can hear it.
God.
Yeah, you know, because she was like, well, what are you so nervous about? I go, well, dude, you have no idea.
The guy has threatened me.
Yeah. And then Frank Gifford dropped out of the ceiling. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But anyway, you know, for the most part, it was kind of cool. And then I see this chick sitting with Roger Waters and his wife, and I thought it was like Gwyneth Paltrow, but someone told me it was Naomi Watts, but I don't know. I didn't know who she...
You can't tell these blondes apart.
I can't. I didn't know who it was, and he's showing me her baby pictures.
Was she pregnant? Or did Naomi...
She just had a baby.
Oh, she just had the baby.
So that must be her, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I don't know a lot of these people, you know what I mean? Some of the younger starlets. I'm sort of out of it.
Don't be like some old codger.
I am, though. I am an old codger.
Oh,
I was like, I don't know who this broad is. I thought it was Gwyneth Paltrow.
You knew Jay-Z's honest before any of us.
That's true. So I'm getting like my dad. I'm like, which one is this? The Gwyneth Paltrow?
Who is she?
Who is Naomi Watts? What was she in? So I know who that is. So I didn't know who anybody. You know, a lot of people I don't know. But then... after dinner was served, John got up with this band he had. He had a band from Jersey there playing. And then John did a couple of songs, which was really cool. We all sat around and watched them. And then all of a sudden he goes, hey, come on, guys, come on up here. And Paul gets up and does the song.
They had like a jam session?
It was Paul McCartney, Jimmy Buffett, Billy Joel, John Bon Jovi.
Did Roger?
Roger got up and did Wish You Were Here.
Wow.
I mean, it was, you know, yeah, Bruce didn't get up, though. I think he'd left by then.
No kidding.
Yeah.
See, maybe Bruce won't do American Idol. He didn't even do the jam session.
It was a way cool party, and then it was reported in the newspaper that I was there, and I was rocking out.
Oh, really? Were you?
I missed that. I miss seeing that.
You miss seeing what?
The you in the paper, and I usually try to read the papers. I miss seeing that you were rocking out.
But I wasn't. I was clapping. You know, like during a jam, if you just sit there, you look like a dick.
Right. You got to do something.
But it was kind of sweet because, like, even like Chevy Chase goes, "Damn, my phone won't work. I don't know how to work the camera on this phone." And he was trying to
get pictures.
He's trying to take pictures of it, and I said, "I don't know, man. I don't know anything about it."
Well, I have to officially thank you on the air for the weekend you gave me. Howard got me a ticket to see Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers out in the Hamptons, and I stayed with him, and it was just the greatest weekend of my life. How great was Tom Petty, man?
Tom Petty was awesome.
Tom Petty too?
I did, and I got to tell you something. I had another mind-blowing experience in terms of music.
Thank you, by the way, for that, dude. That was very nice.
The night before Artie showed up, we got a great story about Ralph and all this shit. But
really?
Yeah.
I have results concerning a bet that you guys might have had, too, about Ralph.
Oh, you do? Okay. All right, good.
Are we going to learn all about this?
There's a big Ralph incident happened.
A major Ralph thing.
What is a major Ralph incident?
Well, we're going to get to it. There's a lot to get to.
See, now I'm totally intrigued.
Anyway, so the night before Artie shows up, I invited Artie out to stay at my place because out there in the Hamptons, they were having a concert with Tom Petty. And it was kind of cool, because it's not a lot of people. It's like 1,500 people tops.
Right.
And they serve a dinner and the whole thing. And, that's pretty cool to see a guy.
Unbelievable, yeah.
In that smallest setting. So, anyway, the night before, I got invited over the guy who owns Sirius's house. Leon, and I went over, and he usually has a dinner party for a few people every year, and of course I go. He's a good guy, and this time though it was a little bit bigger party on the beach and everything. And then he built this structure on his house, and he had Tom Petty show up at his house and play for all of us.
Jeez.
Wow.
Play for me.
Yeah, well, there were maybe at that point 60 or 70 people there. So I sat down on a couch, like in a living room.
Could you imagine?
And watched Tom Petty do an entire concert.
Oh, my goodness.
It was friggin' awesome.
Now, did he do the same set the next night?
Pretty much, but actually even more classic tunes at...
well, I'm just wondering, does he do the full concert at Leon's, or does he...
full concert. He was paid full... It said in the paper he was paid $850,000 to show up.
Wow. Goodness.
But, I don't know if that's true or not.
How many do each Heartbreaker get?
$850,000 for Tom Petty?
Yeah.
You know what?
I said, hey, you could have gotten Cheap Trick for $10,000.
When you go see Tom Petty in concert, though, you don't realize, God, that's his song too. He's got 1 million hits.
He does,
and they're all, and he plays them all.
$150,000 to come to my house?
Hey, look,
so anyway,
what are you gonna do?
Anyway, I was seeing Tom Petty the next night, and I guess that's how he got Tom Petty, because Tom Petty was around.
In town,
and he figured, hey, I'll pick up a couple extra bucks.
Why
couple
not?
extra shekels.
So anyway, well, that's what these guys make. Like they paid these guys. Tom Petty got paid $1 million to show up at the Hamptons.
Well, that's a concert. You could see. I always wondered, but I mean, look again. It's 60 people, private home.
You know what?
Songs.
I should have studied an instrument.
Yeah, you really blew it with this radio thing. So because it's cool, you go out, get $1 million, and
people just throw money at you.
Yeah, and it's fun. You sing. So anyway, okay. So Artie was coming out. He wanted to see Tom Petty. He said that to me. I said, I can get a ticket for you. We have an extra ticket. And he says, good, yeah, I'm going to stay in a hotel. But I said, no. You stay with me. Of course you come out and you stay with me. So I was excited to see Artie socially,
Yeah.
It's fun to do. So... where do I begin?
Yeah.
So I guess I kind of
The helicopter.
Beth and I were talking, actually. I never discussed this with Artie, but, I said, Beth kind of even said to me, do you think Artie thinks you're fun? And I go, I don't think so.
Wow, this is an interesting conversation.
Yeah, so I said, and she said, what's going to happen, if you want to take a nap or something? I said, yeah, Artie might bum out. Take a nap. Because what will Artie do till the concert?
What do you do out there? You nap?
I'm all about naps.
I'm always napping, and I'm antisocial. So she said, why don't you invite Ralph?
So he can entertain Artie?
So he can at least, because doesn't Artie like Ralph? I go, I think Artie likes Ralph. You never know,
But you're not sure.
Ralph.
You're not sure.
I said, it might be nice to have that dynamic going where Artie has a, guy hanging out there.
And when you're napping, Ralph can take up the slack.
Which actually was not a dumb plan, because I come off a nap and I go downstairs and I see Artie and Ralph in the hot tub together.
Yeah, we went in the pool. Well, we went for a walk on the beach and had a couple of mini cigars.
Did you hold hands?
And of course, Artie doesn't bring a bathing suit, but Ralph cut up a pair of sweatpants for Artie, made a mock bathing suit.
I had no plan on going in the pool.
You were so happy in the water.
No, but then I looked at the pool. It was so inviting, And
I mean, you're going to a guy's house, you bring stuff.
Artie was weightless in the pool.
I had my own room. My room looked out onto the pool and the bathroom.
What did you think he was going to do with you?
Put him in a sewer.
Where was he going to put you, in a tent
and I
in
said,
the back?
We took a walk on the beach, and I said, you know what? That pool looks great right now. We had a few hours, and I told Ralph, go get a pair of scissors, and we'll cut up my sweatpants. So that's exactly what he did, which was good. That's like a fashion project for Ralph.
Yeah.
Most guys would punch you in the face.
That keeps him happy. So you were keeping him occupied.
I bet it made him happy, as Robin points out. And also, I bet he did a great job.
He did, actually.
I never actually saw the bathing suit. You were in the water the whole time.
They're very even and everything. But I would like, maybe the future.
I realized, too, you wouldn't come out of the hot tub till I left. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't need that
wait a minute. You let Ralph see you in your suit.
Well, Ralph's microphone isn't on 5 hours a day.
Well, it's funny because I'm sitting there and I go, boy, these guys. I said, these guys are like, Artie goes, I'm boiling like chicken soup. Because he's in the hot tub. And I said, and I left. And then I was walking up to my bedroom and I look out the window and I see Artie's emerging.
Yeah, he sprung out of
and
the
I said,
hot tub.
He didn't want to get out of the hot tub in front of me.
Me and Ralph were trying to think of a rap in case we got chicks back there at night, like how to pretend it was our house. So we needed Howard to give us information about stuff.
Yeah, right.
Like, what's this?
Isn't it interesting that you think so much about what Howard's going to comment on?
It's not totally true. I mean, look, Howard. I mean, I'm not in the like a young Starsky or Hutch at this point.
Anyway, he doesn't realize I love him. I love him fat or skinny.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Thank you.
Anyway, so
if only broads were like that.
So anyway,
So that part was fun, they had an amazing meal set up. I mean, I can't even explain how beautiful the whole experience was.
It was great to hang with Artie outside of the show. And
I took a helicopter out there because I've never done that before. I've been on helicopters, but never out to the Hamptons. I'll splurge. And that's kind of where the Ralph situation starts.
Do you want to start that story?
I guess I could.
And Gary's a part of this, too, by the way.
Well... So I said to myself, I'm going to go out. Howard made this nice invitation, and I said, I'll splurge. I'm going to take a helicopter out there. And so I don't have to deal with traffic. And I found out there's a helipad literally yards from Howard.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's
okay. It wasn't going to make your trip very long.
It was very convenient.
I hope I dumped that. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah, it was a very convenient situation. So I price the helicopter.
It ain't cheap.
And no, it's not cheap at all. And, Gary the whole time was like, please, let me pay for half of this. But he was even more than he thought. And I was like, look, Gary, don't worry about it. It's fine. I was going to do this anyway. I'm happy to have the company. Ralph, the last minute, sort of the day before, says, "Listen, I'm coming. So what time do I have to be at the?"
He doesn't even ask you. He just assumes he can do this.
No. I checked out that it was okay.
Oh,
Right. So no. He called the day before.
All right.
But it turns out, and again, it's just weird how stuff with Ralph just makes a minor adjustment. Something goes wrong. The guy had to get another helicopter because it went from 2 to 3 people.
Oh.
But it was hold on, it was worse than that because I got really maybe the most insulting phone call I've ever gotten from Artie's assistant, which was he needed to know how much I weighed. I swear to God. So then he goes, and I think at one point he goes, all right, 220 and 300. All right, we're going to have to get a bigger copter.
Yeah, right.
Because 3 guys needs a bigger copter because of the weight.
Teddy, a master in etiquette. So anyway, so they had to get a different, which I found out I was going to get this really cool helicopter that's sort of like a state-of-the-art thing, and now they had to switch it to a little bit of an older one.
A Toyota with a wing.
Like the one they use for construction.
Yeah, whatever.
So already Artie's, he goes, man, if Ralph's going to be late, I'm
Right, I
I'm
start
leaving.
stressing about that because I wanted to get out there on time and everything.
Right.
It turns out because of fog, we were delayed anyway, but at no point.
In other words, it would have been quicker if they drove.
In some, not quite, but almost.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fog, everything up. But we got out there on the helicopter, but at no point does Ralph even think about saying thank you or, look, can I pay?
Right. How much do you want me to chip in? Nothing like that ever comes
Can
up.
I tell you something? I get to the place first where the helicopter
Not that I
takes.
care, but again, my God.
I get to the place first where the helicopter takes off from. So I walk in, I go, is this where I'm supposed to be? Ralph, I mean, I can't tell you he did anything wrong, but there's a way he walks in as if it's his place.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he walks in, they have, like, Hamptons magazines out, like, there's another couple there. Ralph walks in, like, sort of doesn't look at them, like, picks up a magazine, starts thumbing through it, talking about how great the trip is going to be as if he takes it every week.
Right.
It's just a funny way he is.
Right. It's Ralph.
Ralph acts as if, yes.
Right.
And so I'll get through this and then I'll hand the ball off to you
No,
at
no,
some
keep
point
going.
here.
No,
But
no, no.
because
He tells
it's
it
a
better than I
long
do.
long thing.
Go on. I'm intrigued. I could hang on every word.
So we get out there and
hang in on this one.
because they changed the helicopters, the car that was coming to get us didn't know what was the right helicopter to get. They had information about the old one that were just 2 people. So now with just 3 people, with just new helicopter, the guy didn't know where to go. So indirectly, we had to wait an hour for a car once we landed. So it really was like we might as well have walked.
Right.
And again, of course, you don't blame Ralph directly for this, but it's just so funny that it's something Ralph caused indirectly that made this mayhem sort
All
of happen.
All of a sudden, it just wasn't a smooth trip.
Yeah. And
But I gotta tell you, Howard, Artie is stressing. The 2 of you guys you guys stress out on so much stuff. Howard's having a little barbecue, and Howard's stressing because he wants it to be good. He wants everybody to be on time. And now Artie's stressing that up the barbecue.
Right. Well,
and
you know
he's
what
like,
he's thinking about?
He's freaking out.
Nap.
No, he's thinking about being late to Gary's party for dinner. And how badly that went for him.
Right.
He screwed up the whole
but this wasn't
dinner.
his fault.
No, but at one point, Artie shut the phone and he goes, Jesus Christ, I can't control the weather. I'm going to be, he was just bumming out that he was going to be late.
He was stressed out.
No, I'm just saying Artie knows that he and he doesn't want it to happen again.
right. Actually, I had forgotten him up Gary's number, but anyway,
I did too.
I remember everything.
I recall that I did. So anyway, there's that nuttiness going on, and fine. It's like I didn't expect anybody to offer this, but still, it's a nice gesture.
All right. So wait. So go ahead. So you guys get to my house,
Right.
and that's okay. It's fine. To get to the house, we're having a perfectly reasonable afternoon, and that night is the Tom Petty concert.
And me and Ralph did hang. We sort of bonded, the pool thing and everything. And
Right.
we were having fun. we started
So,
drinking.
He did something. He made you a bathing suit.
Right,
Yeah, and these
exactly.
guys were drinking and having a good time. And
We had a
all that
great
stuff.
meal when we
Yeah.
landed, and we started boozing. It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. We were all having a good time. And, I got my nap.
And Ralph kept Artie
Company as planned. And just, everything was going good. So I say to the guys, look, we're going to have dinner at the concert, and everyone be ready. I got a car coming and everything so we could all drink.
Right.
Got a car coming at 7 o'clock. Everyone be ready 7 o'clock or 7:15, whatever the time is. I said.
Forgot about this part.
So we're walking out the door. Everyone's ready promptly, 7:15. We got this thing timed out. And I look over, and Ralph is 2 minutes before 7:15. 7:13 starts making phone calls. Because he has to plan his trip to California, and he's trying to get airline reservations. So I said to him, it's 7:13. And
he had all day.
He goes, please, it's not 7:15 yet. It's 2 more minutes. I go, but we're ready now. We all want to leave.
He's on one coast arranging for the next coast's plan.
Yeah. I'm like, you had all afternoon to call. Like, why would you call it 7:13? Well, you said 7:15.
But he can't get anything done with an airline in 2 minutes.
So I said,
that's the point. Absolutely.
I go, so he hangs up the phone. Okay.
Which, by the way, thank God Howard was around to say that, because anybody else would not have.
would have made you wait.
Yeah. Oh, no, I would have just left. I was nice enough. I must have been in a good mood, because I said, okay, hang up the phone. We should just pull out and left.
Now, keep in mind, I had a drink at this point. Ralph had started drinking, right? So he was about 2 or 3 drinks deep into the evening.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So now we go in the limo.
We go in the limo, and I'm not
do you want to?
No. All right. So we go in the limo.
All right.
There's some
editing.
And
that's not fair.
No. It is.
Don't tell me anything you're leaving out. Just tell me a story.
Okay.
I won't know if you don't say something like that.
Sorry, we haven't rehearsed this. All right. So anyway.
You're supposed to be a professional.
Anyway, we get in the limo, and Ralph starts in. He's got to pee. I have to pee. I
knew it. I was going to say, he's got to stop to go to the bathroom.
Well, wait. So I said, Ralph, why didn't you pee before we, like a little kid? Why didn't you pee? I didn't have to go at that point. I go, yes, you did. I said, it's 5 minutes into the trip. What is wrong with you? You can't pee. There's no way to pee.
But not just saying I have to take a leak. Writhing around on the floor of the limo like a second grader going, I gotta get the, yelling at the driver.
Yelling at Terry.
Really rude.
What do you mean yelling?
Like, do an impression of what he was.
Almost like Terry is getting us, a really nice guy, is getting us the concert. He's driving at a reasonable speed.
Right.
We pull up to the entrance, and Ralph, like a third grader, is rolling around.
Terry, where are we?
Terry, come on, get us there, Terry. What are you doing, Terry? I mean, like, screaming at him because he's not getting us there quick enough so he can piss.
Oh, geez.
So, okay.
Is this a mental condition?
Wait. This is nothing.
And we all have another couple drinks in the limo, so.
Yeah.
Now
so he's drinking on top of.
Right, the night's rolling.
I don't remember him drinking in the limo.
We both had a drink in the limo.
Did you really?
Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
All right. So, I don't recall that, but okay, because I don't think I was drinking, actually. Yeah, I've been so sick, and I would never drink in a like to me drinking. These guys are really into drinking.
We took a drink into the car from your house.
Oh, so you were carrying glasses?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
okay.
just
that's a Ralph move for sure. So anyway, we get to the concert, and now there's like a lot of people there that I know, and security people and things.
Press,
and it's a red carpet.
And it's red carpet and press. And one of the guys, the security guys at the event, says to me, yeah, your whole group is inside. He goes, and there's one guy pissing right in front of all of us. So I go, well,
are you kidding? He just pissed?
Yeah. He just
out
pissed.
In the...
Yeah.
Oh.
So he makes us all kind of look.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's embarrassing me because.
It would be one thing if you were doing.
Security guys are all laughing. Like Ralph ran out of the limo, ran by like the big entrance. It's a big publicity event.
By the way, there's a tent right there with bathrooms. He could have just said, "Where's the bathroom?" He would have been in 3 seconds.
But Howard, it gets better because you guys go in, right? So now my group comes in. It's me and Ross and John Hine. And we walk in, and the security guard goes, "Oh, your posse just walked in." I go, "Wait." They go, "Howard's over there." And I go, "Oh, cool." And they go, "Yeah." And there's some dude in the bushes, and you can see Ralph in the bushes peeing.
Yeah, in front of this event.
But
So anybody could have walked by and seen Ralph pissing.
yeah.
everyone did, but the part was that it now becomes not Ralph's peeing in the bushes, but Howard Stern's guy is in the bushes.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
That now you pee in the bushes.
Well, think about it this way, all right? Oh, we get out of Howard Stern's limo, and boom, out pops a guy peeing. Right. You know, I mean, it's like
paparazzi, like all over the place.
Right,
it's one of those Hamptons events, you know.
Oh, what a boob!
Yeah, a boob. So, like at this point, I'm like, you know, Ralph, stay away from me. I don't want to be near you. And I said,
pretend you don't know me.
And I said, if you start smoking pot, I don't want to be anywhere near you. I don't want to picture me with anyone smoking pot. I don't want, I don't want that drug thing.
Right.
I just don't. It's not an image that I condone.
The pissing is enough.
Yeah, the pissing image is bad enough because people tag me as being a slob and uncouth.
Right, yeah. Howard Stern's gang rolls out of a car and starts peeing all over everybody.
My entourage. And everyone's disgusted. Artie's disgusted. I'm disgusted. And, despite Artie's on-air demeanor, he's a pretty low-key guy. And, like, we go somewhere and he knows how to behave.
He knows how to behave himself.
Guy's a heroin addict. He knows how to behave himself.
Well, I can call an audible at the line at this point in my life.
But I was going to say, it's not that Artie behaves himself everywhere, but he knows where to behave himself.
Yeah,
Artie's like the most considerate guy. Like when Artie left my house, the bed was made. I didn't ask him to do this. The room was spotless. When Ralph leaves my house, I find a half-smoked cigar laying on the bar.
Well, I shall find out he didn't plan on leaving exactly.
Wait. We'll tell you. Wait. So anyway,
it's so great.
Are you still with this story?
God. I love it.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah, because this is such a ramp up.
So now I'm livid because I hear everyone's talking about some guy got out of Howard's car and peed all over the place. Right. So like I'm out of my mind over this. Just sick. And then.
If I can jump in for that, I can tell you that Ralph swears that he didn't take anything of any kind. But early on, right after he walked in after peeing, he went to the bar. One of my friends said Ralph dropped 3 drinks in a row.
Okay.
He just kept dropping drinks.
He started drinking very heavily.
Is he now having a problem?
Well, you tell me after this story.
Who knows? I mean, what's going on? But at some point, when you're out with a group of people and you're all drinking. And, your goal is to get at least lit. And at one point, one guy out of nowhere, like, how'd he get that drunk? That's what happened with Ralph. Like, out of nowhere, Ralph had gotten very drunk, and there were shots around. You could easily get drunk and just be drinking.
None of us realized, I certainly didn't, that Ralph was, like, really drinking heavily or what he was doing. Maybe he got some weed from someone. I don't know what he was doing. From what I could tell, he drank, and then when the concert started, he went up to the front and came back, and, like, I was talking to him, and he kept dropping his iPhone and everything, but, like, he was perfectly coherent as far as I was concerned.
Okay.
Did you guys agree? I mean, it wasn't like he knew he was.
He was dancing obnoxiously and running in, hitting into people, but in a way, he was just being sort of Ralphish. He wasn't being, like, you wouldn't think, my God, this guy needs help.
The first tip-off that Ralph was really, really drunk was at the end, the show's over, and we're standing there, and this couple is really a big fan of Artie. And the girl's pretty cute, and the guy's pretty average looking. And Ralph, it got to the point where Artie and I thought that the guy was going to punch Ralph in the mouth because the girl wanted to take a picture. They both wanted to take a picture, and he kept saying, "You're really hot. Lose that guy off. You can't be in the picture." Like, really obnoxious.
Really inappropriate stuff.
This is the Ralph that got punched out at Scores, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says really weird things.
It was such a cool scene where at the very end of the concert, I had pushed up front as well, and it was me, Ralph, and Paul McCartney standing within feet of each other. And I remember pointing that out to Ralph. And Ralph's big thing was he wasn't into Paul. He wasn't impressed with Paul McCartney.
He's out of his mind.
That's what I don't know. He said something like, I'd be more impressed. And he wasn't. He didn't seem that impressed. He was like, I was like, wow, he's not.
Let me say something to you first. Ralph goes to see Beatles impersonators.
Right.
He loves the Beatles.
Well, he's more impressed with that.
Well, it ties in the rest of it, though, why he wasn't so impressed with it.
But wait a second. So I leave about there's like 3 songs left on the set list, and I was like, well, I want to beat the traffic and I want to go home. And I said to Artie, and all the guys, I'm going home. They're like, okay, don't worry, we're with Ross and a whole bunch of guys.
Yeah, they had a way to get.
They were going out for the night.
Yeah,
they were going to have boys' night.
We were going to go. It turns into a club scene there at the end. So they'd have a little bar area.
Oh, okay.
And they'd bring out a DJ to play dance music, and it would have been a nightmare for Howard to try to get out of there. So we knew we had set it up earlier. Howard was like, he said, look, I'm probably going to leave. You guys hang.
And I said to Artie, if you want to come with me or Ralph, I said, or any of the guys, I said, I'll give you a ride. But, they said, no, we got it covered. Okay. So I split all the guys, Gary, Artie, Ralph, all of them are hanging out. Like Artie said, they have like a little thing. Mm-hmm. And then they decide to go to this place called Saracen. It's a restaurant, and it's got like a bar scene, and it's kind of fun, Mm-hmm. I go there once in a while, really like it. And so they get in the car and they all go, Ralph included.
He's already drunk, but he's going anyway.
I guess, but again, I'm already out of the picture. But these guys, they said, yeah, maybe he was high or something, but no one really thought he was that.
Look, at that point, I was feeling great, and Ralph was. See, but this one, the point Gary just brought up was the key change, like
that personality.
When we met that couple, he was being so inappropriate, and that was after the Tom Petty concert and before we went to Saracens.
Okay.
So, and it was a great group of guys. We was like a guys in out. We were all having fun. It was 𝗦𝗵cie𝗄𝗿𝗍, it was Ross, it was me, it was Gary, and John Hein.
Yes.
John Hein, and we were all hanging out. But Ralph, at that point, we said, look, Ralph might start a fight. We got to take care of him a little bit.
We started to have the discussion. This was a really weird thing amongst ourselves. And John Hein says, if somebody punches Ralph, will you jump in? And I go, I don't know. It depends on what he did. I said, I guess I have to.
John Hein full of truth serum. Ralph wouldn't want him around. I don't think.
Oh, really?
Those guys have some issues. I don't know. They have to work out.
So John was questioning whether he would get involved if Ralph got into a fight.
Yeah, he was like, God, if someone was beating the shit out of him, I don't know if I'd help out.
But we had to have that discussion.
By the way, I hear Sal's pissed off. He thinks I invited John Hein.
Yes.
What is that all about?
He found out that John Hein went to the concert. You invited him.
I did?
He's furious that John Hein somehow jumped the chain, that Ralph's been here much longer, and why didn't you invite Sal instead of John?
Well, Sal, who gives you your information? I don't know how John Hein ended up there. In fact, I invited John Hein. I invited John Hein over to my house for some food. But
don't tell Sal.
I did, but
But the point is, Howard, it doesn't matter how he got there. If you did, it's none of his business.
Thank you.
Where do you get this information? Where do you conjure up of yours?
Somebody told me. I just heard that John Hein went with you guys. I'm happy for John Hein.
I saw him at the concert.
I have no beef.
Wait a second, hold on. John Hein was there, and nobody told you Howard brought him. You just assumed it, right?
Well, this is your gig, Howard. I mean, you're the you're the leader of the pack.
Dude. Artie came over. That's it.
I don't care about Artie
and the pack. I don't know how John Hein ended up there. I don't know what John Hein did for the weekend. I saw him at the concert. I had nothing to do with it.
I find that hard to believe.
I'm just. I don't care that he said that.
I was just a little hurt. I felt that
You're hurt. You could have done what John Hein did. Ask John Hein how he ended up there.
I'm not the one who sold the website for a couple of mil. I don't have the money to pay $3 grand to see Tom Petty. So
I get it.
You're assuming.
You're making a wacky assumption.
All right, very good. Whatever angle I take, I'll be wrong on this. So I'm happy for you. I'm happy for John Hein. I'm just saying I was a little insulted. Okay? Is that
How
wrong?
Can you be insulted if I didn't invite
you?
In other words, let's say I go to a Van Halen concert and John Hein is there. Are you insulted?
No, and I'm happy. The issue's not John Hein. It's just that I felt that. I hate to say this.
But Sal, you jumped to conclusions. I had nothing to do with John Hein. John, how did you end up at that concert?
Gary invited me.
Oh. Okay, there you go.
Now get upset with Gary because John jumped you and Gary.
I'm done with Gary. Me and Gary are over.
We know Gary and John are close.
Yeah, I just assumed I just assumed that you invited John Hein.
No, I had nothing to do with you. Although I did invite him over to my house when I heard he was out there.
Yes, you did.
How come you never made it?
Which was very nice.
Yeah. How come? What happened to you?
I was stuck at another thing that I couldn't get out. I was in Long Island City, and I couldn't get out to you in time.
Wish Sal would kill himself rather than be stuck at anything.
Well, let me just say this for Sal. See, John Hein knew you'd be upset, and that's why he didn't make it.
Right.
Smart move. All right, Sal,
I'm
thank
happy
you.
for you.
You got to hear the rest of this story. So
Yeah, I'm listening inside. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
All right, so we know now that Ralph is a little tipsy, but we're all a little tipsy, but who knows how tipsy he is.
Right.
We go to this Saracen's place.
Yeah.
All right. And now we get in there, and, you know, Ross is Mr. Plan guy. He immediately is able to assess the situation, and Ross goes, look, this
Ross
place
is our friend.
Ross Sapin, who we've talked about.
Who works here.
Yeah. And we get in there, and it was crowded, kind of a scene and stuff, and a nice place. But Ross was like, maybe a couple drinks and we'll go somewhere else, you know. And we're like, fine, I don't care, whatever. And Ralph, we get a place to sit. Ralph starts dancing.
Dirty dancing.
With who?
Like a bunch of
That's the key.
like a woman who looked to be about 60.
Yeah.
In really tight, like with bad plastic surgery and tight, like jeans. All
John,
like
did she look real old?
Yes.
Yeah.
Artie's being complimentary at this point.
She's to evaluate.
She was heavy, and that's being, kind. And this is from a guy, when you see a model walk in, he goes, her ears are small and her middle toe's too long.
Yeah.
He's out dancing with a chubby 60-year-old woman and appearing to love
dancing.
it. Yeah, no, he's totally
like that really annoying Latin music
Artie,
you hear at a feast, you know.
Artie was like, "Hey, there's a bunch of old broads here. I'm going home." So Artie decides he's going to bail on the night. It's probably about 1 o'clock in the morning at this point, or 12:30.
We all decide we're going to bail on this place. We're all now the group is deciding to leave.
Okay,
you know.
So a couple of people, Gary included, go up to Ralph and say, "Hey, we're all leaving now." And they
While
say,
he's dirty dancing?
While he's dirty dancing. And Ralph says, looks at them coherently and says, look, man, don't worry. I'll catch up with you guys, or I'll just make it back to Howard's house, whatever.
Well,
don't worry.
It was actually worse than that. At first he said, I'll be fine. But then he said, you guys go and come and pick me up on your way back.
Right, that's what he wanted.
Like we're taxi drivers.
Yeah, and Gary goes, there is no way back, Ralph. We're going. That's it. Either you leave now,
or you find your own way.
So he's like, fine.
So again, you get out in front of the club, and guys, some guy, like when you're with a group of guys, some guys are like, especially if you don't know them. But Artie and John Hein get out front, and they go, wait a minute, we can't just leave Ralph here. We have to, be sure. So
that's what Ross was saying.
Artie was like, you know what, the guy might up. I'm going to go in, and I am going to make sure that Ralph understands.
Well, no, first Gary had a turn, then John Hein went in. He goes, Art, you're feeling guilty? I'm going to go in and ask him. So John Hein, and John is a pretty efficient guy.
So you see, the evening is all about Ralph and getting him from place to place. But wait a second, wait. So Artie says, I don't care what these two guys said. I don't want to feel guilty. I don't want to leave a guy.
You got to go make sure for yourself.
Yeah, because at this point he said, hey, maybe he's drunk and doesn't know what he's doing.
This is the third time going back to him.
Right.
So Artie goes in and he says, look, Ralph, we are leaving. How are you going to get home? Don't worry, I'll get home, blah, 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 blah.
Dancing with a chick, arm around a chick.
Yeah. The 60-year-old broad.
Yeah.
He's still with her.
Yeah. So Artie says to him, do you know where Howard lives? He goes, take the address down. Write it down in your iPhone or whatever that thing is. Right. So Artie's telling him, yelling out the address, giving him the address. Ralph goes, I don't know my iPhone. Don't worry, I know it. And he repeats the address. Okay.
I realize, people sort of recognize this. I'm yelling out Howard's address in the middle of a dance floor at a crowded club.
All right, because Artie felt like, whatever.
He needed to take care of Ralph.
Right. So he goes, Ralph, do you even have? If you have to get a cab or whatever, he goes,
do you have money?
Do you have money? Artie hands Ralph $300 cash, and says, "Here, take this money. I want to make sure you can get home." Now, somehow
Artie,
Ralph,
I don't have a way home.
Somehow Ralph, exactly. Somehow Ralph evokes this in people. I know
that he's got the world taking care of him.
Most people should be like Scott the engineer. You forget that he's even there. It should be that way, but it's not. Okay. So these guys leave. Artie decides to come back to my place. He comes home.
Now, at this point, there's zero guilt in he's in no danger. Right. He's got money. He's an adult man. He seems to be having fun. He made a decision. I'm staying here, and we left. That's what happened.
All right.
I'm already asleep.
You don't even know this has gone on.
No. I've been in bed for hours already. I mean, I'm not putting up with this nonsense. I don't give.
Right.
Yeah. I went home with my fiance and had a perfectly reasonable evening with her. So, I got to tell you, it just sounds exhausting, right?
Oh my God!
I wouldn't have even gone back in and asked Ross.
So the split was, which is what Ross wanted to say. You were with Ross. So the split was Ross and Gary and the other guys go somewhere else, and John Hein took me back to Howard.
All right.
Okay, so that's the split.
So then, I wake up the next morning, and I don't know. I listened to my messages. Yeah. There's 5 messages from Ralph. Oh. I go downstairs. I see his room hasn't been used. Oh. No Ralph. He never made it back. I go, oh, wow. Just before I listen to my messages, I go, Ralph must have hooked up with a broad or something. I didn't know about any old broad. You didn't
know about the 60-year-old?
No, I just said he must have hooked up with a broad. I know Ralph, or he's staying at Ross's house or something went down.
Right, he went home with somebody else.
So I start listening to one panicked message after the other. It's like the first one comes in at about 4:30 in the morning.
Whoa!
He goes, dude, where do you live? I'm driving around with this guy. And we're stopping in parking lots asking if anyone knows where you live.
Oh, no.
And he goes, I don't know where I am. You gotta help me. So then he goes, then I listen to the next message. In fact, I have the messages. Why did I fucking prepare those?
Them.
I should, take a commercial break. I'll go get that lined up with Scott.
All right, yeah. Because we got to hear the messages. I can't wait to hear these.
All right, take a break. Take a break. Wait, you got to hear these messages.
That's too funny.
Hello.
Hi.
2 seconds.
Is that the phone?
This is the phone right here.
I got to do a whole punching in.
I know. Okay, this is the phone.
Thank you. Dial 1.
You dial 9 first. You done? I think so. Right. Okay.
Next message. Let me just make sure. Next message. What's it say?
Hey now, douchebag. I tried to call you before, but I got disconnected, and then I got another call.
Yeah, you do.
Just no 3?
That's it.
Okay, I got it.
I think I do have to bleep out words.
I know.
It's such a pleasure.
No bleep.
He sounds like he's 18 years old.
Yeah, right? It's one big nightmare. So where were we in this story?
So you're about to so
Ralph's calling.
Yeah. Okay,
Ralph's
so I wake up in the
you,
morning. I see Ralph's bedroom is empty. Artie, I realize Artie locks his door at night. I noticed you lock. Do you have a thing? Because what I did was I tried to open the door to see if you were in there because I figured both you guys were gone, and then the door was locked.
I don't remember doing it. Maybe I did it out of habit. Yeah.
You lock yourself in at home?
Yeah, you lock yourself in.
Not in the bedroom, but I might have. I was a little drunk myself. I might have locked the door. I guess
like
I locked
it was the front door.
Well, good thing you did because I would have been in your room.
Right, exactly.
Are you smart?
Who needs you in there?
Right.
Hey, always lock your door at Howard's house.
So now I'm like all confused, and I go and as I regularly do, go to check my messages. Scott, do you have those, or is it a whole big process?
I think it'll be like 2 more seconds, Howard.
All right, great. Just tell me the page to go to.
So, but what happened was, Howard left us at the concert. Everybody's hanging, having fun. I left Ralph with that money. Those guys left the bar, too. Ralph was dancing, having a good time. I made it home about 2 a.m. John Hein drove me home. By the way, me and John Hein got pulled over by a cop.
What?
Yeah, John Hein, of all people.
So John
doesn't even drink, right?
Well, no. He didn't get pulled over because of that. He got pulled over. We were doing 40 and a 25 down the Hamptons main drag, and he was doing me a favor, taking me to Howard's, and I felt awful. This really cute chick.
A cop.
I mean, but cute. Like you'd go, wow, there's a hot chick. Pulled us over, and I felt so bad. I said, I'm going to be obnoxious right now. And I said, Miss, my name's Artie Lange. I'm from the Howard Stern Show. And
Let me guess what you said. You said you had a 40-inch cock.
I was going to say, you would favors to get out of the ticket.
And she said, you know what, don't worry about it. She goes, I love Howard. I'm just giving you a warning. And she was going to get moving violation for that.
Artie used my name to get out of a ticket. I use my name, and I don't get out of a ticket.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I've done that, and cops have given me tickets.
What?
Well, like, I'll go, hey, Howard Stern, the guy on the rating guy, goes, oh, yeah, I know who you are. And
he keeps writing.
And he writes a ticket.
See, the move is just to let them see who you are, I think. But
yeah, I never say. And, sometimes they recognize me, and then they're nice.
I say right away.
Right, you say right away?
Yeah, I have the PBA card, and they go, oh, where'd you get this from? And I said, well, I do a lot of charity work for the police. Senator John told me that one.
Never pull out
I said, they go, where'd you get that? I do a lot. Senator John told me that one.
Never pull out
I said, they go, where'd you get that? I do a lot of charity work for the police. Oh, how do you do that? I go, well, I work on the Howard Stern Show. We do a lot of stuff.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good. I'm going to do that. I'm going to say I'm from the Letterman Show. See if that gets me anywhere.
But I felt so bad for John. I said, I'm going to be like a little bit of a douchebag and say it out loud. And then she couldn't have been cooler. And I'm telling you, she was hot. So
we're lucky because John's the only one of us that doesn't drink.
Yeah, he was completely sober.
Let's go to Bill, who wants to say hello. Bill, go ahead.
Hey, welcome back, Howard.
Thanks, man.
Listen, this Ralph story, the only way it's going to be any interesting to anybody but you or maybe Robin is if Ralph dies or gets arrested or...
Well, you got to hold on.
You got to hold on.
Well, sir, that would be great.
He gets his face punched in.
Are you not enjoying this story? Because I did a random...
No, I'm really listening, Howard. I just
they just hate Ralph. And,
we love to hate Ralph.
Okay, because I did a random check. I said, is this interesting to everyone, or is it just to me and Artie and the guys who were there? And everyone said, no, we're all guessing the ending.
We're leaping ahead and seeing what this will mean for Ralph in the future.
The messages will make it better. They're on Gary preview page 1 in green.
Okay, thank you. So I get up and I get this message. Give me a sec. Okay. Here we go. This is the first message.
Hey, man, I know you're sleeping, but
so what's he supposed to do?
I have no place to go. You know, we're going back to the van. These people, this chick's throwing up on the side of the road. Oh, my God, this is so fun. All right, well, can you pack them? Okay, thank you, bye.
So now it's about 4:30 in the morning, and he's going back home. And I'm like, what happened?
So that's
here?
the first message you get. You have to be completely puzzled.
No, I'm puzzled.
Yeah, right.
So
how did he get so out of it?
Then the next one is time-stamped, I think, around 7 in the morning or 7:30.
Hey, now. Hey, so I'm in Jersey City. Nightmare, man. Guys ditched me. I didn't know where to go. I couldn't find your house. Went up and down the street. Couldn't find the street. And so, I had to get on the bus on my douchebags.
They're douchebags.
All right, man, I'm going to sleep, so I'll talk to you during the day. Just throw them in a bag and give it to Artie. I got a shirt in the closet and some stuff in the bathroom and whatever underneath the TV to the right over there. Just throw them in a bag and I'm going to sleep. All right, man. Thanks, man. Bye.
If they're all drinking, he knew exactly where everything was. You hear that description?
Yeah, he sounds very lucid.
He sounds very alert and all this. And I'm like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, what did they do to him?
And then the third, and I'm like, well, what did these guys do? And I'm dying to wake Artie up, but I go, Artie slept till like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Artie locked his door so you couldn't.
Yeah.
I was in weekend mode. I put the air conditioning on.
Did you sleep until noon or something?
Well, on a night out, I got home. I didn't get to sleep till about 2:30, and I put the air conditioning on about 58.
And he's calling these guys like cocksuckers and fucks, and I'm like, man, they really screwed him over. I don't know what's going on.
What did they do to Ralphie?
And then I'm like,
hey, douchebag, could you put some cookies in my bag, too, please? Some of Marnie's cookies, like 3 or 4. That would be very good. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I can't believe I'm cocksuckers, man. Dude, I had to, I'll tell you, scale the side of my building to get my house. What a pig. right, bye. Just give me some cookies, though. Bye.
So we get it. So Artie wakes up. All the guys come over to my place because we're going to have a meeting about what went down.
So I finally wake up.
There's a big summit.
I wake up
Ross
at noon,
was over,
and
Gary,
I make it into the kitchen. I can barely move. Like my 1 p.m. I wake up, and I see Howard and Beth, and they go, "Did you hear what happened to Ralph?" And I'm like, "What happened?"
Right.
And then I hear.
So we tell him all this, and he goes, gave the guy $300. I went in 20 times and said to him, Ralph, I'm going home now. Do you know how to go? He goes, this is my worst nightmare. He goes, I never want to ditch a guy. I never would do that. Right. He goes, I'm mad. I'm outraged.
There was no indication. I was really pissed because, look, the only way we'd be in the fault is if we sort of knew that Ralph was in a blackout or something. Right. But of course we didn't know that.
Wait a minute. You know what?
There was no indication of that.
What John Hein told me was that when he went in to say, Ralph, we're leaving, we're really leaving, this is, how are you going to get home? Ralph said, just tell Ross to come back at such a time and pick me up.
Right. He kept saying that.
And the other thing you should know, you know how Ralph has that iPhone that he's madly in love with, that he plays with like a baby?
Yeah.
So we wondered, he's got my cell phone number, he's got Ross's cell phone number, and he's got Howard's address in there. He's got this thing that he runs out of batteries.
Oh, you're kidding. That's why
that's another great part of the story.
Yeah. So we all decide to get him on a speakerphone and find out what's going on. And we tell him, hey, you're being... Artie went in and he goes, what? He claims he
doesn't remember.
I said, so what are you on? What kind of drugs are you doing? Because that ain't from drinking.
What's wrong with you?
He says, I swear I smoked a little weed at the concert, I drank, and that was it.
I said, what's the last thing you remember? I said, do you remember sitting next to Paul McCartney? And it was me, you, and Paul McCartney in the third row, I said. And we were, having a great time listening to Don't Come Around Here No More, the last song. And he goes, Art, I don't remember standing next to you and Paul McCartney. I totally would remember that, which explained to me why he wasn't that into him. But there was no indication of that night. He seemed to be all right.
So I said to Ralph, why didn't you go to a hotel? Oh, there were no hotels. I go, there's tons of. Why wouldn't you go to a diner and just wait till I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning? What are you doing? He goes, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Somehow he latched onto some guy.
Yeah.
This is the mystery thing
that he was driving around with.
And because his iPhone, the single biggest advancement in the history of technology, that he can't call anybody, he borrows the guy's cell phone to call Howard. So now the guy has Howard's
in his phone.
Yeah, so clearly the guy knew Ralph was. Of course, he knows Ralph and Howard.
That's why he's doing all.
And they're going up and down. And Ralph got out of the guy's car at one point and started yelling, "Does anyone know where Howard Stern lived?" And he said,
"Know that
because Ralph told us he did it." He goes, "At some point, I was desperate, dude. I'm sorry, but I was desperate."
Whatever he was on, he must have come off. But
he got next to a very big celebrity's house who lives next to Howard. That was like a landmark. There's another sort of very big celebrity there, and as there are all over the place. And so he knew that was close by, and we were like, well, then you couldn't get it it's only like a little ways further. He's like, no, I couldn't do it. I was yelling at Howard's name. I called him from this guy's cell phone. We go, who was the guy? How did you leave the guy? He's like, I have no idea what happened. Somehow I got on the jitney, the bus, back to the city.
We don't believe any of that. We were like, what jitney did you get at, 4:30 in the morning?
But he's back in Jersey City. He did get back. To be on a jitney,
but
right?
he found a guy that was willing to take him from the club to around the neighborhood of your house, drive him up and down the road, and then take him back to a place where the guy knew there was a bus Ralph could get.
Yeah, instantaneously, he's supposedly stumbling blackout drunk. He finds a guy he also tried to get into a hotel. He goes, the hotel had no vacancy. So he finds that information out. He makes it somewhat back to Howard's house, makes phone calls, figures out himself, gets to the bus stop. I couldn't do that coherent.
But he's a train wreck.
Yeah. I mean, it's like... So, and then I said, Ralph, do you remember? He goes, by the way, did someone give me money? I have a stack of hundreds. And I said, Ralph, I gave you $300. I said, you don't remember that? I put it right in front of your face. I go, dude, this is money for you to get home. He goes, yeah. He goes, actually, thanks for doing that. I didn't have a lot of money on me.
Yeah, but meanwhile, here's the kicker to that part of the story.
So he knew that I gave him the money, and I said, yeah, Ralph, that was me. And he goes, oh, thanks. That was nice of you. You know. So.
Well, no. He said he didn't remember you gave him $300. Right. He said, I said to him, do you remember Artie giving you $300? He goes, oh, is that how I had a pocket full of money?
Right. Then we found that out on the phone. He said, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
You know.
But did he say on the phone that he was going to give you the money back?
No, he never said that.
He never said that. So
listen to this.
When's that going to happen?
So now I'm packing Ralph's room up, which, by the way, is like spread out all over the house. I mean, like he
so it wasn't just in his room. You had to go all over.
It was just in his room, but he luxuriates and gets everything out and unpacked, and his books over here, and his this and his that. It's like. He was there for 1 hour. You know what I mean? Right. He was just there for an overnight visit.
And he really did leave a lit cigar on like a teak bar.
No. It actually wasn't lit. It
was out.
It was out.
So Howard and Beth picked up for him, packed for him, got a shirt out of a closet, figures out where it is, and put these great homemade cookies they had. Packed them up and put them in the bag.
You actually responded to the cookie request.
Yeah, he actually gave him cookies.
So we pack up his bag, and I go, now Artie's got to schlep Ralph's bag.
Real neatly. Bag waiting for me to take it back to Ralph.
So
after all this,
Artie decides that he'll make it easy for Ralph, because Artie got a car to take him from the helipad to his house.
What happened is, so now I have Ralph's bag, okay? And it's like one of those sort of, lazy Sundays where, you're hungover. What do I want to do? Me and Gary get the helicopter back. So, and again, the guy, there was an issue for the guy because I thought you were 3. He goes, no, we're only 2. And you could tell the guy had to change something. He goes, oh, whatever. I wish you would have told me that. So, Ralph is up that guy's day in some way. So we're on the helicopter, which is the greatest ride ever. And in the middle of the helicopter ride back to Manhattan, I go to Gary, I go, listen, after all, I can make Ralph's life so easy right now. I had my guy who always drives me, my driver, Herb, picking me up at the helipad in Manhattan. And I said, he actually doesn't live that far from Ralph.
Right.
I could just tell the guy I'll give the guy Ralph's number, and I'll give Ralph his number on his answer machine. And I'll say, guys, hook up at some point during the day. My driver will hand deliver you the bag, Ralph. And, of course, though, he charges me for a ride for that.
Of course.
Right? Okay. So Gary had some great advice. He goes, okay, number 1, you shouldn't do it with him. But number 2, if you do it, it's out of your hair completely. Because he's got it. Now Ralph is skipping to it because he's got to get to California. He didn't have bag for California. So I agreed with the second part. I said, I don't want this in my head. I call Ralph from the helicopter. I leave him a message saying, look, get in touch with this guy. He's going to have your bag in a Lincoln. Your bag will be driven in a Lincoln Town car to your house. I tell my driver when we land, I go, look, take this to this guy's house. He's like, fine. And he didn't plan on doing anything else on a Sunday. It was a special Sunday ride.
Right.
And the guy must get charged about $40, $50 for whatever that is. And I don't want the guy to do it for me for nothing. So Ralph calls me back when I land, and he goes, dude, thanks so much. That was really, really great. They took it right to me, and I really need all it because I'm going to California tomorrow. And he goes, by the way, I gave the guy a few dollars. And I go, oh, that's nice. That's nice. You gave the guy a few dollars. He goes, yeah, so thanks, man. And I said, well, have a good time in California, I guess. And he goes, great, I will. Thank you for everything. Because by now he realized he was wrong. He goes, look, I'm not really mad about last night. I'm sorry you had to, give me the $300. He even re-brought it up again, $300.
Right.
Now, knowing he's going to California, he says he gave my driver a few dollars as a tip.
Right.
So then we just hang up, and he's going to California. I say, good luck, have a good time. I call my driver. I go, did he give you anything for me? And he goes, no. He didn't give me a package for you at all. He didn't give me any money to give back to me. He's like, nope. And I go, what did he tip you? And he goes, not much. He goes, like under $10, so just a few dollars. And, you know, I don't know the exact number, but Ralph might dispute that. I got to check from my guy. But the point is, you know, now, am I right in assuming this is Ralph's mindset? Because this is what pisses me off. He's going to California. He doesn't have a lot of money on him. He figures, unless Artie brings it up, I'm not giving him back the $300. I got $300 cash on me. I'm taking this to L.A.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You gave it to him, Artie. Why would you want it back?
You gave him the money.
That's
Artie's
right.
fuming mad because, and rightly so.
Oh, absolutely.
That, you know, dude, where's my $300 back?
Right.
I gave it to you.
He did that out of the goodness of his heart because he cared about Ralph, and Ralph is taking it.
I wouldn't even say, even if he said to me, look, I needed it. I used, what's the jitney, $50?
Say it's 100.
Right. So he would have said, look, here's, I'm low on cash. Here's the balance of the $300. But, and again, I'll give Ralph a chance to explain himself, but I started to overthink it, and I really bad. I said his mindset was totally that Artie's not bringing this up, so I'm not going to bring it up. Right. I'm going to L.A. I'm keeping it. After his bag got hand delivered, Ralph cost me $350.
Yeah.
On top of whatever, you know, the helicopter would have been. And not until he didn't thank me for the helicopter, by the way, until he made this really cheap fat joke at lunch. We were all having lunch, and he makes this like dumb fat joke that I was sort of
pissed.
I was aggravated by it, and I don't care about fat jokes, obviously, but something about it rubbed me the wrong way. And Ralph could see I was pissed, and then he went, "Oh, by the way, Art, thanks for the helicopter. That was really nice." Yeah. And, you know, so, again, it's like, I don't know. I just, it's that sense of entitlement with money. And it's not about the money, of course, but just, he's going to claim I forgot, Art. I forgot, or
of course I was going to pay you back.
Is there any way I let him on in thinking you don't have to pay me that money back? I don't think I said that to him.
No. And in fact, I want to ask you guys a question, because Ralph got mad at me on a wrap-up show a couple of weeks ago. He said that I'm the one who started this rumor, a fact about him that's wrong, that he has a sense of entitlement. But doesn't everything in that story show he feels he has a right to be on the helicopter, a right to have his bag delivered with cookies, by the way?
Ralph knows that he has a sense of entitlement.
But how do you not know?
He wouldn't even recognize it because he's so entitled.
How does he not remember the whole night?
Because he's blacking out.
But Howard, a couple of hours later, when you're like that, a couple hours later, he describes to the longitude and latitude where all is in this room.
Yeah.
I got stuff a little bit to the right there. There's a shirt in the closet.
And
a black guy, I would remember had a shirt in the closet.
But he wasn't drinking then. This is, you know, you got him before and after blackout.
Speaking of blackouts, though, is Isaac here or is he on his honeymoon?
I don't know.
Isaac got married on Sunday.
Well,
Isaac's one of our guys who works on Howard TV.
Great guy.
Howard.
What did you say?
He's on his honeymoon.
Oh, too bad. Because
what?
After all that telling about how Ralph's inappropriate, I'm going to be the... Here's a story about me being the most inappropriate.
Artie accepted the invitation. I had RSVP'd that I wasn't coming.
Right.
Although I did send Isaac a gift, which he'll probably get when he gets back. But anyway, Artie was going to the wedding.
Yeah.
So what happened?
You know, again, Isaac invited me to the wedding. Me and Isaac are friends. I think he's great. I know his wife, his now wife.
Susie.
They were getting married Sunday, and I went out Friday night, and I slept a day and a half.
Get out of here.
Hungover. And
you slept a day and a half?
I woke up Saturday afternoon. And again, this is what happens. If I don't have like a woman in my life to take care of me like a little baby, I forget stuff like this. So I totally forgot about the wedding. And I guess I have other friends who were going. All it would have taken is one guy to go, Art, how you getting to the wedding? You want to go together? Like, there was not one call like that. I know Richard went. You know what I mean? It was like, and I'm sitting there like in a daze, over reading the sports section. I didn't remember till last night at 10 o'clock. I gander over at the refrigerator and I see the invitation, and I had a feeling of such horror.
Wait a minute. You didn't go to the refrigerator all weekend?
I did, but it's like, this is what happens. I put it up.
When you hang stuff on a refrigerator, you don't...
I put it up a month ago. It became part of the refrigerator. Right. And I totally, I look at it and I go, I didn't go to Isaac's wedding. And I didn't even call. So now
you
it was
piece
too
of crap.
I heard a rumor too, Robin, that you bailed on Isaac's wedding a week before the event.
He knew that was a possibility.
Oh, okay.
It was too late. it was too late to call him. It was 10 o'clock last night, so I said, "Listen, I'm sure people at the show know about this. I'm gonna have to deal with it." I sat down and I literally wrote a 3-page apology.
You should read that on the air.
You want me to?
You should make it public.
Well, let me
Is
give
it boring or is it good?
It's me thinking of every self-deprecating, awful thing about myself.
Don't read it then.
Before he's no, you know what? If he wants to, I'll give it to him. If he wants to read it, he can read it. But I also, and of course, to put a period at the end of the inappropriate
You
sentence,
have to give a huge gift.
I gave more money because I feel so guilty.
What'd you give him?
I'm not going to say that. If he could read the note and say how much if he wants, but I got it sealed here, marked to him. And guys, I'll say this to when I see you. I'm so sorry, guys. I felt horrible.
Because when I did bail, Isaac said, "Well, Artie's going to be there by himself."
Oh, God.
Well, no, he's not, actually.
By the way, I know I told that assistant of mine to remind me about this, but anyway, I'm not going to.
You know, it's time.
I'm not going to blame him.
It's time you went to franklincovey.com, got yourself an appointment book, and started taking responsibility for this shit.
You're right.
This is what Howard's been preaching all along.
I'm telling you, it enables you to become a man.
I don't forget about gigs where I'm getting paid. That's for sure.
That's true.
But
That's true. You never sleep through those.
Isaac's a good guy, and I feel terrible about it. And I'll give him this Magna Carta I wrote. Yeah.
Hey, anyway, so
I feel like a little baby. You know what I mean? Like, I'm 39. I forgot to go to a friend's wedding.
When are you going to turn 40? It seems like you've been 39 for about 5 years.
I'm Jack Benny.
You know what's weird?
October 11th.
The weird part of Isaac's wedding, and this is why we got to get him in here when he comes back from his honeymoon. Where'd he go?
I don't even know. I don't know.
If you'd been at the wedding, you might have found out.
Yeah, you might have known.
I feel terrible.
So anyway, he had the most random invite list. You know how we always have trepidation about throwing a party because you have to cut certain people off?
Yeah.
But it was like I got invited, you got invited. Now, some people were pissed Artie got invited over them because they were like, well, I know Isaac longer. Like, Gary didn't get invited.
Gary didn't get an invite?
And he even said to me, look, I'm not complaining. I don't want to go to the wedding. But
not on the Labor Day weekend.
No. Oh, people who get married on Labor Day weekend, you want to take them and smash their head into a wall. You want to smash their head into a wall.
Well, that's a whole other rap, but, look, I went to his bachelor party. I did a shot with his best man. I was like, I can't wait for the wedding. It's my bad. Sometimes you drop the ball. I drop the ball, but, Tim, it's his fault.
Isaac's on the phone. I got to ask him.
Isaac's on the phone from his honeymoon?
Hey, Isaac.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, congratulations, by the way, to you and Susan.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks for the note. Howard sent me earlier. Nice to know it was very heartfelt.
Yes, and I will actually have a gift for you, but
I have a gift for you too.
There you go.
Great.
Anyway, your guest list was kind of random. It was like weird, like Artie, me, Robin. Was Fred invited? Were you invited?
Fred wasn't invited. No.
No. It was.
There's a lot of things. You know how hard it is to put together a party that has a limited number of seats. It's not easy.
But why Richard and Ronnie the limo driver over Gary?
Okay, I'll tell you why. Because I went out to Richard's house to shoot Weekend at the Christie's, and I bonded with Richard, and I've been friends with Richard since the day he arrived at K-Rock. I was close to Richard. Why Ronnie? Because I used to do the hallway camera, and I had, spent a lot of time with Ronnie. And even though Ronnie breaks my balls constantly, probably more than anybody at the show, Ronnie's always doing it with a smile. So the way I gauged it was I couldn't invite everyone from the show. There were people that I wanted to invite that I couldn't invite because of numbers and because of, you have to let your parents and you have to let your bride invite people. And I kind of thought of it as, when I look out into that crowd, who are the faces that I really, really want to see?
And you don't want to see Gary's face.
No. You didn't want to see Gary or Fred.
I like Gary, but I don't have that closeness with Gary that I have with some other people on the show.
Yeah, I don't blame you about Fred, too. I understand that.
Well, I was upset.
When I get married, I don't want to look out and see Fred.
You don't want to look out and see Fred?
No.
Consider me a no.
I love Fred. man. I just don't know. I just don't have like a closeness. You know, I had to gauge.
No one has a closeness to Fred.
I got one for him, Howard.
Wow.
Hey, Isaac.
Pound.
Congratulations on, believe me, I'm not that pissed. But, you know, there's a guy out there that seems a little upset that I thought that Isaac was really good friends with.
Who?
Will. Isaac and Will are pretty friendly. So how do you pick Richard, say, over Will?
You know, like I said, you know, I actually had a B list, and I told Will that he was on my B list.
He's B list.
Well, just so you don't feel bad, you're on the B list.
Well, at least he was on a list.
That's all right.
No, he was on the B list, and our list got really big because I apparently have a lot of cousins that I don't know about.
Why would Artie be on your list, though? Are you close to Artie?
I thought I was.
And me and Isaac are very friendly. And dude, again, I don't know if you heard before, but I have no excuse without a broad in my life to take care of me like a fat baby. I went out Friday night. I slept all day Saturday and Sunday. Last night at 10 o'clock, I looked at my refrigerator at your invitation, man, and I became horrified. And I realized no one called me. No one even said.
Well, my invitation was on your refrigerator, and you didn't see it for 2 days. I don't believe that.
Well, that's what I said. He had to go to the refrigerator.
No, it became sort of part of the scenery.
Yeah, it became like part of the refrigerator,
yeah.
and I because it was up there for so long. But I mean, I have no excuse. I literally.
That's bad.
No one called.
What do you have an assistant for?
Well, listen, I guarantee I told that Teddy to remind me about it because
You're going to fire his ass? Or you gonna...
I would have liked to have seen, you would have had a great time.
Isaac, you know
what's sad? A B-lister could have taken his place.
That's right.
Like Will.
That's, of course, you know. And
Will's a B-lister.
Isaac, I am so sorry, man. I wrote you a 3-page apology. And I have a check for you, and I don't know what to say, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Susan. I know how women.
Susan's a piece of ass.
She's hot.
I was just looking at a picture of her.
Too.
She got nice titties.
Oh, stop it.
Thank you very much.
That's his wife now.
Big deal.
About.
You did well.
You know,
I'm happy when a guy tells me my wife would have nice titties.
Isaac's wife is a very talented line producer. As a matter of fact, we interviewed her she worked on the Chappelle
Look at her
show.
titties in that picture.
Yeah. And we interviewed Isaac's wife to line produce Beer League.
Isaac, is that her wedding dress that I'm seeing with the pink sash around it? Or is that like an
that's her wedding dress.
Boy, with the titties like that, huh?
Pretty revealing.
Yeah, she got into really good shape for the wedding. She's always been great. I mean, she's amazing. I definitely scored out of my league.
She wear a bikini or a one-piece?
She wears a bikini. She doesn't really she doesn't really like the sun, though, so she stays out of the sun.
So she's got a flat, hard stomach?
She's in amazing shape right now. She does have a flat stomach.
She's got a great body.
And those are real titties?
Good breast to stomach ratio.
And that's real boobies?
Those are real boobs.
Nice. She got a nice face,
too. She was really. I mean, I think one of the first things that she said to me, she looked out and she goes, "Artie's not here."
Oh God,
I'm like, yeah. Well, you know, let's give him a little time. You know, maybe he's late, but.
I assume you were at the wedding, right?
Yeah, I was at the wedding. I had a great time.
Picture.
I'm just saying for the audience. Yes.
We set a chair for Artie. You know, in his seat, we put a jack in water and put his name tag.
I mean, you know why I have no shoes? Because even, of course, the baby that I am, I was late in RSVPing about whether or not I was going to bring a guest, so it went out of the way like, Isaac had to extend it a few days. Artie, you bringing a guest? And I made sure I said, no, I'm gonna come solo. And that's when I know.
There's your chair.
And that's when I know I told Teddy, look, man, you got to remind me about that, too. And
I told Isaac 3 weeks ago.
I don't know, man. I mean, everybody had all this trouble RCTing, but Howard did everything right.
I know.
Well, Howard just says no right away.
How did he do everything right?
He says no right away.
Hey,
he's not going anywhere.
It's better than Robin, who gives you a yes, sort of, and then a no. Say no.
Isaac, how long ago did I tell you that Artie was definitely not coming to your wedding, even though he RSVP'd yes?
Doug predicted this thing.
Why would you think that?
Because look, I'm right.
I know, but have I done this in the past?
Well, I don't know if you want to get into that. But
I did?
Sort of.
When?
It was a shoot.
Oh, well,
Yeah, sort of.
But that was a work.
Sort of, right,
That was
sort of, yeah.
I'm
sort
also
of.
concerned about Artie sleeping for a day and a half. What did you do on Friday night?
Well,
I played.
He hibernates like a bear.
You know what I
think
did?
he eats an enormous meal and and then goes into a cave somewhere.
Friday night, there's these guys I play poker with every once in a while, and they're sort of high rollers, even for me a little bit. And I sort of really the guys I've known for years, but I sort of really gotta get in the right mood to play poker with these guys.
Which means?
And
means he gets wasted.
No, we went and we played a big game of poker, and I got home at 7 a.m. and I explained this in my note. I got home at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. The wedding was on Sunday, so I went out Friday. We played this 18-hour poker game.
How much did you lose?
I actually won. We have to $8,100.
Really?
I won $8,100.
Impressive.
But this is the same game I lost $38,000 years ago. Remember? So
you're down.
Still. And I got home at 7 a.m. Saturday, and I had a nice big breakfast. And I went to sleep, and aside from getting up to take a leak, I didn't wake up again until 5:30 p.m. on Sunday.
Wow.
Oh
So I slept for
like a bear.
32 hours. And
Well, you should see him in my house. He was like the whole.
You didn't know if Artie was coming out of that
I said,
room,
what
huh?
if Artie died? I couldn't open the door.
As a matter of fact, I was so afraid that I was going to just keep continuing sleeping at hours.
Ed, you're on the air. Go ahead, and then we'll get to Richard. Yes, Ed.
Hey, I think Artie's back on heroin.
I don't think so.
He's missing the wedding. He's carrying lots of cash with him. Who carries all that cash with him?
Well, when you're going to play poker, what are you talking about?
All right, let's go to.
Like the cash I gave
to Ralph.
$300 out in the Hamptons. The world is not exactly your oyster.
Yeah, Mike, you're on the air in Toronto.
Yeah, it's Paul. I just wanted to go back to the thing about Ralph asking you for cookies. What was that all about? Pack my bag and throw some cookies in there.
Well, we had these delicious homemade cookies. And,
Unbelievable.
He was all angry that not only did he have to go back to Jersey City, but that he missed the cookies that were going to be for lunch.
He's still thinking about the cookies.
Yeah.
Well, where's the manners, too? He just calls and says, do it.
Yeah, well, that's why he gets this thing about being entitled.
Now, where did he go in California? Because
Sam Simon and him had a falling out,
Right.
so he's glomming off John Stamos.
So he took the Stamos invitation.
He went to Stamos' house. Stamos went to Burning Man out in California. And left Ralph the house for the weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. So he goes, I'm glad Stamos has kind of got the place to myself.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm thinking of the week Ralph had last week, and again, my great week ended.
Yeah.
When I got on the helicopter.
Right.
This was just beginning.
He had other plans.
What do you want to say, Richard?
Back to the Artie sleeping thing. We took a nap together on the Rescue Me set in his trailer, and this assistant girl, I felt so bad for her. She had to wake him up from his nap, and he was out of it. She was like, Artie, yeah, and Langford's there with the microphone recording it all. And he looked so funny when he woke up. He just stared and looked around like he had just been born or
really,
something.
I'm
like a
so,
baby.
Like
at
a
that
crazy
point,
kind of sleeper.
On that point, I'm so depressed. But I got back from this card game. I had won a little money. I was a little hungover. I had cold pizza that was left over in my refrigerator and 2 Cokes.
Ugh.
And then I slept. I slept for 34 hours.
Me and Doug were talking at the wedding.
I don't even think that's possible.
We were talking. We wanted to guess. I'm sure Artie is giving Isaac a ridiculous amount of money because he didn't make the wedding. He's throwing money.
Listen,
at him.
Isaac,
tell me how much.
Giving him all of his
Isaac's
winnings.
gone already. I
he
hung up
is?
on him. I didn't mean to hang up on him.
Yeah, I mean,
must have.
there's a reason that Isaac had a wedding on a Sunday on a holiday weekend in the morning because they had low budget.
Yeah.
So
I know.
one seat was a big deal.
I know. And
What'd you give him?
I'm not saying
Come
that's
on.
up to Isaac if he wants to. And But the one thing I will say to Isaac, I said, please just don't waste your time arguing with me.
Give me over under $3,000.
Is
ripping
it
up
4
the check.
figures?
Is it over $3,000 or under?
Is it 4 figures? Yes, it's 4 figures.
Okay. Is it over or under 3?
Oh, jeez. I'm not getting into that.
Because you might have gone completely berserk with guilt.
That's the other thing.
You go completely berserk.
Because I know his wife is wonderful, but I don't really know her. So it's like, I guarantee you, the note that I wrote, I just tried to think of every awful way to insult myself. And then at the end, I said, look, I'm sure this figure is inappropriate, but please, what else would you expect at this point? I have no other way to
make up.
Yeah, and again, this is you can see why
Artie's insane with money because I'm a pretty good tipper. I really am. And this guy, like, we go to a concert and they had a bartender there, and he says to the guy, not even a bartender, like a guy serving drinks,
right?
And he just says to the guy, "You can tip him $50." And then, like, he gives.
I was going to ask,
but
Artie,
those guys do pay attention for the rest of the night.
I want to make sure I never without a drink, and I'm
well, he's got a problem.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Artie, because I noticed it. I got to say, you are the most amazing tipper I've ever seen. I watched you the whole weekend.
He goes to the helipad, for example. Some guy takes his bag out of Artie's car and puts it on the helicopter. Artie gives him 100.
It was like Artie, that was like a 10-foot walk. That guy brought it into the thing. It was like a 10-foot walk.
$100?
It's Jackie Gleason.
Again, it's and the thing, it's not out of kindness. It's out of insane insecurity, which is why.
Like, are you afraid that guy's going to talk bad about you?
No, I don't know what it's. No, because I tip with money I didn't have before I had money. I would over-tip.
I thought you were just too lazy to get change of 100, so you just give everyone 100.
Maybe
that has happened before.
That
has without question happened before. It's like, I don't want it. I'm like, just take it. I don't know.
I mean, but, even handing Ralph $300, it doesn't take $300 to get back to
Well, I wanted to make sure, look, there's no way I could not get back.
It was very nice of you.
But, I heard you guys had a bet whether or not Ralph was going to pay me back. Was that true?
I don't know.
I did. I said
we did.
You, the only one that said he would pay back. Ross and I both said he wouldn't pay back.
And now he's going to pay back because
he
it's
will
been
pay
brought
back.
Well, now
up
you've
on
embarrassed
the air.
him.
Right, but he will.
But
pay
he
back.
wouldn't have paid back had it been left.
Now,
you have no radio show.
No, he never paid you back.
Right. Not yet.
As of now, but I'm sure you're right, Howard. I'm sure he'll pay me back eventually. Now is
Did he ever pay you that bet you?
Although actually he didn't. And that was up in the air. That was out on the air just the same way.
Dominic Barber, you're on the air.
Yeah, I don't think he should feel bad asking about the wedding because when my daughter got married, Robin never told us whether she was or wasn't coming. Right to the wedding date.
It's terrible.
Hey, did Robin bring a weird 13-year-old girl to your wedding?
No. And Howard.
I asked that. I had a guest. You wanted me at your wedding.
I think you asked me like the day before. It was like a day or two before.
Oh my God!
No, really,
You're still carrying on about
It's
this?
just funny. It's just odd behavior.
It's odd behavior.
This is why weddings. I'm telling you.
I hate you, and now I'm sorry I ever came to your wedding.
I loved having it at the wedding, but more than a few people. Like that was at the time where it was a question.
Right, I have a 13-year-old
And
girlfriend.
it was like, what's with Robin and the 13-year-old girl at the wedding?
Yeah, but you assumed she was also a pedophile?
Yeah, I have a 13-year-old
People just thought it was weird.
I always suspected you were a pedophile.
Howard, did you think it was weird? Seriously. People thought
I don't remember. I don't, but Dominic, I think Dominic's thing is very, very relevant. That's not right, Robin.
But Howard, do you remember how
I was on the fence the whole time.
Not the RSVP is wrong.
I was on the
do you
fence.
remember how you got out of my daughter's wedding? It was incredible.
I think he had RSVP'd, yes.
No. I left the country. What did I do?
He made believe you went to Europe.
I actually was in Europe.
Yeah.
Right.
I was promoting a film.
Allison came.
And you talk about guys who are overly generous, too. I tried to pay, remember Dominic got me fitted for that suit. I'm trying to pay him back. He refuses to take the money. He ripped up the check.
I don't want money.
Give me my wedding present back, Gary.
Oh.
Did you go on your date with Jimmy Florentine over vacation yet?
Oh, wow. I forgot about that.
No?
No.
I am no longer single.
And by the way, Robin canceled on Gary's dinner party an hour before. So, you know.
Do we have
true.
And I was sick.
I wish to God, I swear to God, I'm sure Robin was sick, but I wish I would have had tape, because it was definitely one of those voices that was getting raspier as as it went on.
I guarantee you Robin wasn't sick.
I was sick. Why would I?
You had a tickle in your throat.
No, it wasn't. It was much more than a tickle.
You know what I worry about? Women especially take weddings so seriously, and I've been up in the past with shit
And
like
I
this,
gave
too.
Dominic's daughter a wonderful present.
Very nice.
Very
and
generous.
so did Howard.
Yes.
No, you both gave great presents.
All right, thanks, Dominic. Let me move on, because Lisa G's got it. What is it, Doug?
Just one more thing about the wedding. When a hillbilly tries to dress himself up in a tuxedo, it was so funny. Richard was so clueless with what he was wearing. You know those like a handkerchief that you wear, like you're supposed to have a nice handkerchief. So Richard had it, and I was like, that looks too
pocket
perfect.
square. Yeah.
Yeah. So I lifted it.
It was
so
attached.
I pulled it out. It's attached to the cardboard with the price tag on it still. And then he had like he couldn't button his shirt, so the button's unbuttoned on the top button with a black T-shirt underneath sticking out.
Richard, you were doing a bit. You know that you can't have the box and the receipt on the handkerchief.
No, I had it inside my pocket where you couldn't see most of the time. Doug just pulled it out.
You never took it off?
No. If you can't see it, why take it off?
Got a point there.
There's Richard.
But I gotta say, Howard, I gotta give you a compliment. Like you Jewish people know how to throw a wedding. It was a blast.
Think all Jews?
Yeah.
Think all Jews know how to do it?
Oh man, like I gotta thank
Jewish weddings.
I gotta thank Isaac and Susie, because it was a lot of fun. They lifted them up on the chairs, and everybody was dancing, and the booze was flowing. It was a lot of fun.
Richard's like, why are they lifting the Jews up in the air?
It's symbolic of getting away in the Holocaust.
Richard's like, where's the rope?
You say everything's amazing, though, so.
No, I had a great time.
It was a morning wedding. He was drunk off his ass by like 12:30.
Bill, you're on the air in Harrisburg.
Hey, Howard, how are you?
Free booze.
First time caller, long time listener. I was actually wondering if Isaac would ask Artie to read the letter over the air.
Oh, Artie will read it on the air. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, let's hear your letter.
He said he would let Isaac do that.
Isaac will reveal the amount.
No, he said Isaac could read the letter if he wanted.
Okay, listen.
No, I put the kill on reading Isaac's letter because I just thought it would be real long, but maybe it'd be funny.
It's three.
It's going to be hilarious.
Let's hear it. Come on, read it.
I'm not. There's no way I'm telling you what the check is for.
All right, well then just leave out the dollar amount. Just leave out the dollar amount and read the letter.
Let's go blank.
You want Isaac back on the phone to hear it?
Nah.
Yeah, he should hear his apology in person.
Well, I mean, I wrote this at the height of feeling so. I might have had
like as soon as you.
I know, it's awesome radio. Definitely.
I might have had a whiskey.
I'm feeling Fred's piano music coming on.
The height
too.
of self-hatred is
Let's
what
hear
I
your
wrote.
letter. Go ahead.
Isaac and Susan.
It's already funny.
It's already great.
Isaac and Susan. Friday night I went out drinking. I got home at 7 a.m. Saturday morning, September 1st.
Here's the chronology.
I passed out, and when I woke up, it was Sunday at 5:30 p.m.
What an incredible life story.
It is now Monday.
Your mom should frame this one. Yeah.
It is now Monday, September 3rd at 10 p.m., and it wasn't until 15 minutes ago that I realized in horror I missed your wedding.
Isaac and Susan, I am a drunk.
Well, listen. Words can't express how sorry I am. I consider you guys great friends, and I'm a wreck about it. I offer nothing that can be even barely recognized as an explanation, except to say that I am a mess. I've actually, believe it or not, done this before. Without a woman in my life to take care of me.
This is like the speech in The Godfather.
Listen to this, without a woman. What do you keep bringing that up
Without
for?
a woman in my life to take care of me, like an obese, whining, selfish,
is this for real?
Pompous,
that's in the letter,
pretentious ass baby. My life becomes a thick forest and chaos.
Good Lord, Artie.
Not that you should care. Believe me, your wedding would have been scarred with my miserable, pudgy, barely shaved, enormous face hovering over it like a self-absorbed, depressed blimp.
Is this for real?
That is not on that paper.
Let me see that.
I'm sure it was wonderful, and
Artie's
it's my...
definitely on heroin again.
I'm sure it was wonderful, and it's my loss having not been there. Look at it this way, at least you have a friend to talk about at parties. Feel free to speak of me loudly, since I will probably be missing another great affair, sleeping through it like a stuck pig filled with whiskey and Excedrin PM.
It's the greatest letter ever.
Does that really say that?
Please accept this check as my wedding gift. If the amount seems inappropriate, don't give it a second thought. What else would you expect at this point? The money is better off with you. After all, how many double-stuffed Oreos and Marlboro Reds can one douchebag buy?
Wow.
Wow.
All the best. You're a great couple. Sorry again, Artie.
P.S. Please excuse the vomit and grease stains on this note.
Jeez.
Can we photograph that note and put it up on howardstern.com? That's the greatest note
this
ever.
is the regrets note everybody should write.
I let it flow.
Dude, that is the greatest letter ever. Shame on me not having you
If
read
you
that.
ever miss anything, use Artie's
I'm
letter.
inviting you to everything, hoping you miss something.
Wait, go back to that part about where I couldn't even believe it was written. What is that?
That was the without a woman in my life.
Yeah. I got to hear that part again.
Hallmark should make a card out
Without
of that
a
letter.
woman, with believe me, again, I'm just going to write this.
I got a feeling his check is for over $5,000.
I would say $5,000.
Yeah.
Without a woman in my life.
Go ahead, read this. Yeah.
Without a woman in my life to take care of me, like an obese, whining, selfish, pompous, pretentious ass baby, my life becomes a thick forest and chaos. Not that you should care. Believe me, your wedding would have been scarred with my miserable, pudgy, barely shaved, enormous face hovering over it like a self-absorbed, depressed blimp.
Wow. That's an awesome letter. Dude. Yeah, we have to scan that and actually...
Yeah,
with
we'll
the
scroll it on
handwriting
Howard
is great.
TV, too.
Yeah, that's
Put
a
a
good
nice
one.
scroll.
Yeah,
She'll read it.
go ahead. Take it from Artie and scan it, please. That's an amazing letter, Artie. Congratulations.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That's how terrible I felt. I felt terrible.
He took a $5,000 nap.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What at the bottom? Was there something else at the bottom you ripped off?
There's
PS?
something there that's something, yeah, I ripped
Oh, wow.
You ripped it off?
What? You ripped it off?
You just ripped up your whole letter.
No, I just ripped the bottom.
The bottom part. Looks
Yeah.
like there was a
There
PS.
was a
or
PS,
something.
yeah.
Oh,
What was the
it-
PS?
Nothing.
What
did
is
it
the
say?
PS?
Nothing.
Come on.
Nothing.
What is the PS?
Nothing. It really is something that I'm not sure Isaac wants on the air.
I see.
Oh, this
Something
is a
personal.
personal thing?
I am gay.
P.S. I am gay.
Nobody's gay.
P.S. I'm gay.
I couldn't show up, that's why I drank. I was foaming too long. I woke up in front of the refrigerator, my head was in the door.
That would be a hell of a PS.
My face was in a flooded dish and blood
Yes,
was
I'm
smeared on my
gay.
ass.
That would be that's the only thing that would have topped that.
All right. Listen, now that you're badgering me, all right, I'm a fag.
Artie, that was... You were pulling no punches in the self-deprecating department there.
Oh, you're right. I felt awful. Terrible, selfish thing to do. What can I tell you?
But, like, all in all, you just made a mistake. You didn't do it purposely. Why beat yourself up that badly about it?
I don't know. I caught myself in a wrong mood. You know. Today I feel a lot better about myself. I should have wrote it today.
Over under 5 G's on the check.
No comment. What's up, man? Under.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Baba Booey. On Monday's wrap-up show, we discussed the fact that Scott the engineer's wife called in, and we talked about what that all meant, how she called Ronnie's new girlfriend Chippy, how we don't think she likes Ronnie, and I think we finally got an answer to what Chippy means and what she thinks of Ronnie the limo driver. We haven't had a good old-fashioned on-air fight amongst the staff in a little while.
Long time, I think.
Like a good one, like a real one.
Yeah, it was very real. And it got more real as it went on.
Well, once wives start arguing, then it's a good fight.
Well, let's start with that. So Shuli goes in and does the update, and I think the premise was to talk about Sal.
This is going to be a Sal bashing.
Right. And Sal, of course, and realizes that he's wrong and apologizes and sounds completely sincere. And that turns into Ronnie being in there to discuss it. And then Ronnie, of course, talked about what goes on when they're there and Scott the engineer. And next thing you know, Scott's wife's on the phone to basically set the record straight about what happened, because she was accused of being the reason why Scott left early. And I've heard that accusation has been made before.
Well, we should go back. I started to get on the microphone, but then I backed off. There's been tension between Ronnie and Scott's wife for a while, and I forget what it goes back to, but it goes back like 8 or 9 years ago. Something happened where they were supposed to go somewhere, and Ronnie wanted Scott to go, and something happened, and they used to go out to dinner, and that stopped. And I remember we talked about in the air that they weren't going to be friends anymore. I wish I could remember what it was.
Yeah.
So there's been some tension there for a while anyway.
And now she's calling him the dredge of the earth. And Ronnie, when Ronnie does it, you really want to go there. You could tell Ronnie's getting heated, and they got into it. And well, I was going to ask this question, but I see a caller already has it. So, Jeff, I'll give you the floor. Ask your question.
Dude, oh, my God. What the fuck is up with Scott? He stands there and lets Ronnie trash his wife in front of millions of people and doesn't say a word. If I was at a party and a buddy of mine started talking like that to my wife, it would have ended with me punching him in the mouth. What's up with Scott? Why didn't he stand up for his wife?
Well, that's very Scott in the sense that Scott, I've seen him before, and he's like, listen, my wife's her own person. This is her fight. I don't have to get involved in it.
It was an awkward thing because you had Ronnie and Scott's wife arguing, and Scott is literally standing there silent looking at Howard. And I wasn't sure if it was what you just said, Gary, sort of this is her fight, let her handle it, or if you... What was going through your mind as that was going on? Because you had to feel extremely awkward, Scott.
Well, it was a little awkward, obviously, but, she called in and she, was upset that they were making fun of me. She was trying to support me, which I really appreciate. Because they were making fun and Scott doesn't do anything and he just takes the money and, so I guess she was upset about that.
So you felt that she had your back in this conversation?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely had my back. So... and I appreciate that. So she's a big girl. She could speak for herself. So,
but did you ever feel a need to go, hey, Ronnie, whoa, that's my wife. Whoa, stop the clock. No, but did you ever feel a need to, that's what this guy's saying.
I did. But I know that I probably would have gotten some resistance.
From
Howard, because I know that he likes a good fight on the air. I did want to stop him, but Did
you feel he was out of line at any point?
They were arguing. I don't really think he was out of line. I mean,
it's got to be weird too, because like who are you? Which one are you closer to?
I'm not even going to answer that.
I do have to say, Scott, that for my money, Scott had the funniest line of the morning. Howard goes, Scott, what do you think of Ronnie? And he goes, you heard my wife. He's an asshole.
Scott, I don't think Howard would have gotten on you if you backed your wife up there. I really don't. I mean, you weren't going to.
Of course, I back her up. I mean, I don't. She has some of her feelings, and that's fine. I mean, obviously she.
But do you think she so held her own Like,
Oh, yeah.
you
Well,
know?
yeah, that's what I thought. So if she was,
I didn't think that there was a need for this. Isn't a party, and you do let stuff sort of air out. That's the point of her calling in. She wanted to get her point across, and I don't think this is a like, hey, don't talk to my wife like that. It's not like he said, oh, she's a fucking skank.
Yeah,
he had an argument. She had an argument back.
Plus, I don't think Scott's unaware of this issue. My guess
There's tension, right? We agreed that between your wife and Ronnie, there's tension.
Well, there is now.
But there was before. I do remember now. There's a guy up on the phone, but I do remember. This started when you wanted to go to driving school, right?
No,
I think it's
not at all.
If I remember the story correctly, is when we first came to Sirius and we had that partnership with NASCAR, which both Scott and Ronnie were really excited about. And I think they had this whole weekend plan where they were going to get flown out to Chicago,
they were going to go to a race or something.
And they were going to go to a race and be in the pit and blah blah blah. And then at the last minute, Scott pulled out, and Ronnie totally blamed it on Scott's wife.
Right, and I think I remember that coming up on the air, and I think that's whether Ronnie had tension with your wife over it. I think by bringing it up on the air might have created tension with your wife against Ronnie.
It might. I mean, she obviously doesn't agree.
Do you live there? You seem unaware.
Ronnie's wife. Ronnie sees a problem. Did he have a problem with Doug Goodstein's wife also? Didn't he have words with Marlo Goodstein on the air?
Yeah.
Did he call her like a bitch or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember if it was that, but we're going to try and get Ronnie
I
down
guess she
here.
liked Ronnie's ex-wife, and I guess she felt bad about the whole thing, and then he's with a young woman now, and so I guess she doesn't she doesn't like it.
So this
tension. I listen. I've heard similar. I mean, my wife loves Ronnie, but she's weirded out by the thing. She's like, there was this woman that I loved that just has disappeared.
So even before that, you're saying there wasn't any tension there? Like it was that Ronnie's girlfriend. That's what brought this on.
Well, we do a lot together, or I go out with him, and so I guess maybe I took away some of the attention I should be giving to her by going out with those guys. But I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think it's more of the girlfriend thing. Now she likes Stephanie though.
Now, why were people blaming your wife for you leaving early? You said that wasn't the case.
Not the case. I mean, we were there. We hung around for 10 minutes after the show ended, 10, 15 minutes, and it was already after 11, and I had a pretty long ride home, and I had to get up for work on Friday.
Right, but when you said that, Shuli, Ronnie, they were like, that's not the reason why.
Well, that's their opinion, but I'm telling you the truth.
And they complain about that for every show, so it's not like a new...
That's true.
I hang around a little and then I leave. So I mean, I'm not like them standing around drinking at the bar or doing whatever.
Waiting to throw up.
Right. So yeah, I don't get wasted. I didn't drink. I had one drink, I think, and so that's my thing. So I left, and I had to go to work the next day. So they didn't. Well, Shuli did, but that's his deal. Ronnie didn't have to work Friday. So nobody else apparently did either.
What's it going to be like when you get home today?
It should be fine. I don't see any problems. She got on the air. That was her choice. I didn't put her on the air. She wanted to argue with Ronnie, and she felt that she had certain things to say. She didn't appreciate them trashing me, both at the show and on the air today.
You don't think she's going to come down on you for, like, kind of letting Ronnie railroad her, like Ronnie was yelling and wouldn't let her get a word in. You don't think she's going to be like, where were you to have my back there? Or
in a situation like that,
yeah,
I would. It would have been almost impossible to get a word in edgewise anyway. So she was doing fine. If she needed help, I would have stepped in, and of course I would have helped her. But I didn't feel that I had that she wasn't doing fine. She did well. She expressed what she had to say.
I mean, there's a part of me, like, if that was going on with me, I would have sort of stepped back and go, look, my wife's kicking Ronnie's ass.
He didn't really...
She certainly was holding her own, don't you think?
Yes.
He didn't trash her, really. She brought up some things, and he responded. and I felt that she was doing fine.
No, she came out guns blazing. I mean, she definitely dug into Ronnie immediately and didn't hold back, which, if she's sticking up for you, I could see why.
Well, yeah.
I like Robin Salem, Scott's wife, a lot. Like Ronnie, his girlfriend. But Robin, Scott's wife, did take the stronger dig.
What do you mean?
She made a much stronger verbal dig than Ronnie did. When she what she called Stephanie.
What did she call her?
I mean, I don't know literally what a chippy means, but that was the strongest.
That chippy means like.
It's a young.
Well, if you don't know what it means, then how do you know it's stronger?
I don't know literally what it means, but it implies like
she's younger, and she's like you say, oh, he's with that young chippy. It's not like a whore.
It does
it's just
imply
like
that
no, it's more like a young. It's more like
a young.
It's a very old-fashioned term, but it's not
derogatory though.
But it's not. It's not derogatory.
Sexualized. I think someone can look up chippy. If there's a dictionary that
where will I look? A dictionary from 1920 is what I need.
No, it was definitely a shot. But
it's a little lower than a broad.
But like Scott was saying, I guess Robin and Bonnie had a relationship, or maybe things were different. And now that she's gone and a younger woman's in the picture, she's not happy.
Does that end? Is Robin?
According to the Oxford Dictionary, the third definition for a chippy, it's North American, is a promiscuous young woman, especially a prostitute.
Promiscuous. Basically called her a whore. Basically called her a whore.
I guess so.
According to the third definition.
I didn't realize that was the meaning of the word.
Jenks, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, what's happening? I don't know. I kind of got the impression listening to that Scott, man, how could you not defend your wife or say something during that? I mean, your wife, she's going to rip you apart when you get home for that. You know that.
For what? I mean, she was defending herself. There was nothing more that I could do or say at that point. She was doing great. So
I'm going to make a prediction. You are going to come in tomorrow angry at Ronnie. You're going to come in tomorrow angry because you're going to find out what you did wrong. You're going to hear about it tonight, and you're going to come in tomorrow angry.
I know why she called. She was trying to support me, and she wasn't, which is a great thing. And
I agree with everything you just said. You're going to come in tomorrow angry at Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, what's your definition of a chippy?
A chippy?
Yeah. Does she? I think Scott's wife said that your girlfriend is a chippy. What do you think that means?
I guess it's a young girl.
Who? Okay.
So.
Because we were trying to figure out how deep the dig was.
You pissed off at him?
No, not at all.
Is your relationship with Scott awkward when you have this sort of?
Well, I feel bad for him because I know he's going to go home and catch a lot of shit today.
Why does everybody think I'm going to catch shit?
He says he's not going to catch any shit because Robin called in, stated her piece, and Scott didn't need to say anything because she held her own.
There's a bunch of calls up. There's a school of thought that you were disrespectful to his wife and that he should have stepped in and told you to shut the fuck up.
I was disrespectful. I was called that I'm an asshole, that I'm a shit, that I'm classless, and I didn't say anything derogatory to her before that until she started that stuff.
Dredge of the earth,
okay?
You were called also.
Yeah. Because she's jealous.
Well, I agree with that comment.
Yeah, I mean, forget it. I could have said a lot more, and I'm not going anywhere near any of this stuff that I could have said.
Go down that road.
I'm not. No.
No one ever takes that road.
I do.
No.
Yeah, Jason doesn't hesitate to take that road.
Well, first of all, I disagree. In one thing, I disagree with Scott, and I don't see how he says she called in to support him when she said that everybody on that show sucked and they were shit.
Yeah,
the show was shit.
I sort of got that impression too that she was lumping you in with that.
How does that?
I agree
how
with
does that support?
I agree with my wife.
How does that support her husband?
I don't agree with her opinion that the show sucked. Okay, and I told her that. When we were home that night.
Did she complain that the DJ sucked, that he only has 3 songs on his phone?
Yeah.
I let her say it sucked in front of Shuli, but later at home alone, I told her.
When you left, the purpose of the show is to do exactly what we did.
But
that's the idea.
But Scott, when you left that night, what was that ride home like? Did anything come up because Sal was being so crazy, or
Ronnie complaining?
She thought Sal was funny, and she thought Mad Dog, the comedian that we had there, was funny.
He was amazing.
Chris Russo?
What'd she say about? What did she say about Ronnie?
She didn't say anything about Ronnie.
I don't believe you.
I don't either.
come on,
I don't believe that you guys got in that car and Ronnie's name didn't come up
No,
once.
she said he could be a little rough at times, but I mean, overall, she didn't give me any other impressions. But the overall thing was the show. She didn't like the show.
But what does that mean? A little rough at times.
I thought. See, my
His
here's
language.
my-
his language.
Yeah, and I also think she was annoyed. This is just my opinion, okay? I'm not putting words in her mouth. My opinion was she was annoyed because at the beginning of the show, Scott usually does this dance. And he came to Shuli and said he really didn't want to do it because he was going to have friends in the audience. So at the first part of the show, I pointed these people out and I said that thank you for ruining the beginning of the show because Scott didn't do his dance. I think she was upset with that. That was my personal thought because after that, she had nothing to say to me the rest of the night.
Johnny in Tampa, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hi, guys. I just want to say, I don't want to say to Scott, that guy, Ronnie, is not a friend. I mean, he's a jerk. You don't get into an argument with a friend's wife. You stay away. You don't get your friend in trouble and run your mouth with your friend's wife.
How did I get him in trouble?
Old mommy, because he got into an argument with your friend, and your friend is standing right there next to you. I mean, what's up with that? Why don't you shut your mouth, say yes, ma'am, and move on?
No, I don't. I'm not going to stand there and be called classless and an asshole and everything else by somebody and just stand there and take it. You got the wrong guy for that. I'm sorry.
Right next to you. You do it for your friend. You take care of your friend.
I did take care of my friend. Believe me. Believe me when I tell you I took care of my friend.
You did not.
Oh, yes, I did.
You don't
know, okay? All you do is call in and run your mouth also. You don't even know what you're talking about, okay?
I know how to take care of my friends.
Good. Well, then you go take care of your friends, okay? You do that.
And Ronnie, just to address that guy, Johnny, you didn't start in. Like, Robin called in to start yelling at you.
And, well, I brought something up, and maybe that's what set her off. I said that I think also, in my opinion, that she thinks I'm a bad influence on Scott. For certain the reasons are, whenever we go out and we invite him to go, we invite her also. Never comes. It's always Scott comes alone.
See, I don't think that she thinks she's see, this is what I get out of it. She doesn't think that you're a bad influence. She doesn't like you.
Exactly.
There's a difference.
Well, it's to me, it's the same. If you don't like me, you think,
Well, it sounds
whatever.
like it's more about the divorce and you moving on in life.
But there were issues before that.
Well, okay, but I think that maybe was the final nail in the coffin.
Well, hold on,
But the other thing, I just wanted to say, Ronnie, you didn't attack his wife. Like, you didn't go after his wife. And you didn't throw him under the bus either with anything.
I didn't. That's why I didn't think that I would.
I
if
don't
he
know where
started
it- I don't
attacking
even
her,
know
I
where
would
it
have
came from.
I would have come to her defense. But she was doing fine.
Well, we're sort of talking around it here. I mean, Scott, does your wife not like Ronnie?
Apparently. Yeah.
No, don't give me apparently. You know the answer to the question. Either she does or she doesn't.
Well, she doesn't like him.
Okay. I don't think that comes as a surprise.
There's no surprise.
I think she expressed that today.
Did you know that, Ronnie,
Very clearly.
for a long time?
I never know it until 100% till he just said it now.
Well, you knew it from this morning.
Yeah, I had my feelings, but he just confirmed it for sure. Obviously, I've been talked about that she doesn't like me. Obviously, because I got divorced and I moved on with some, younger girl,
Chippy,
which is like never heard of in this society.
Scott, did she not? Yeah, I think we're gonna ask the same question. Did Chief have these feelings for Ronnie before the divorce happened? Like, did she always think he was a bad influence?
No, not at all.
So when that happened, that was sort of.
Yeah, I guess she doesn't. I mean, she doesn't obviously agree with what he did.
If Stephanie eventually gets old enough, do you think she'll like Ronnie?
Maybe if the woman that he was with was a little older. I don't know. People get divorced. The marriages don't work out. I get it. But I guess she didn't like the fact that she's a lot younger than he is. I'm Scott the Engineer, and on Tuesday's wrap-up show, once again, I got my ass handed to me because I wanted to go bowling, so I asked a question if I could have some days off to go bowling, and here's what happened.
we should start off with Scott Salem's quest to bowl. And I know we had a lot of Scott on the wrap-up show yesterday, and we're going to have a lot of Scott on today, simply because he's in the crosshairs. And it was sort of the perfect storm today because Scott, I would imagine, was fired up about what happened yesterday. And the news broke the story that he had emailed Howard about there was a new PBA event that he wanted to go, and Howard had gotten an email. But that was at the tail end of this. What I heard, and Gary, you can correct me if I'm wrong, is Scott had talked to Doug Goodstein, yourself, Tim Sabian, everybody who basically said no to him, yet he persisted until he got a message from Howard, which basically said no. Now, Scott's argument, and I see him running down the hall now, I wonder if he's going to be as fired up as he was in the studio. Scott's argument is a simple one, which is, and Scott, correct me if I'm wrong, no one said no. People didn't answer. People said maybe, or we got to talk to this guy, we got to talk, but nobody came out and said, no, Scott, you cannot do this.
Well, today was the classic example of be careful what you wish for, because what I do know is that Scott was talking to a lot of people, and I think it would be fair to say Scott was trying to flush this out on the air. My understanding was he was trying to generate a news story that would get this to come out on the air. I think the hope was that it would come out on the air and he would get to go.
Were you lobbying the news, Scott? Be honest.
No, I asked about it. I asked Brad last week. I said, I know Shuley did the story. Are you going to bring that up on the air? I asked him. I didn't push. I asked him.
But it sounds like through the news, talking to Gary, talking to other people, it's like you were talking to everybody here about making this happen. And again, you're passionate about bowling. It's something that you want to do.
Right.
But was this an instance where you did hear no and just kept going?
I never heard no. Again.
Well, what did you hear?
I heard Doug said, I asked him, he put it off. I sent him an email. He didn't respond. I said, okay.
So Doug never gave you an answer?
No.
So
Doug's answer was, well, if he didn't respond, that's probably no.
Right. Okay, so that's your first. That's
Doug's
a good,
world.
that's a pretty good
That's
hint.
in Doug's world. I never ask Howard anything.
No, but
okay?
but you
I
wouldn't-
never bother him with anything.
Step away from this being as close to it as you are,
Right.
and think about it some other way. Think about it like I went to Howard and asked for the day off for something. I wanted to go to the Met game, right? And Howard didn't answer me. What would you think? What would you say to me?
Either he didn't get the email, or he just didn't want to.
Or keep going.
He didn't want to answer.
Right. Why would he not want to
He didn't
answer?
want to look like the bad guy, which he
Right.
said on the air.
Right.
He said, "I don't want to look like
Scott-
the
So
bad
I think-
guy." But what to me,
Scott,
not
Scott.
answering is looking worse than a bad guy.
You don't get to call the shots.
Scott, you've been here a very long time,
I
okay?
have. And I don't. I would
hold on.
normally not bother
Here's
anybody
the thing,
on
okay?
anything.
If I email Howard something and I don't get a response, that's a no. I know it's a no.
And everybody here knows
Does
that.
anybody else think differently?
I think differently because sometimes I take it as, and not necessarily Scott's kind of situation, but I take it as, it's like, oh, should I work on this or that? And if there's not an exact no yet, you're not sure if this is the.
But you're
if this is
insane.
still
You
percolating.
understand that? Like you're not. You're an outlier.
Yeah.
You're insane.
He's right in a way because if Howard really wanted you to work on this or
no,
that,
no, I know,
he'd respond
but
to you.
But I think sometimes Howard doesn't give a no because, well, first of all, he generally doesn't give no. That's true. But I think sometimes it's just like it's not necessarily a bad idea. It's just not for right now.
But he usually
Right, so don't do it right now.
He'll usually say, or look, I know I've sent stuff in, and he'll be like, hey, this is good. Maybe Fred can help polish it up, or let's go in a different angle. Like he usually does give suggestions.
And the other issue here is why is Scott, or frankly anybody, going to Howard in the first place when the protocol, as Howard said today, was you got to talk to Gary first.
Always.
Let me go through it. So the Doug thing, Doug said probably not. He didn't get an answer. I waited about a week. And Doug said, let's see what happens. So after a week, Howard was doing stuff in my studio. So quickly I said, I know Doug sent you a note. What do you think?
Did you know that was on camera, by the way?
I had no idea.
Yeah. To me, it was on camera. It looked like Doug was there knowing you were going to ask, and it was engineered that it would be on camera.
I didn't even realize it.
And what did Howard say?
He said, Now, he could have ended it all a month ago by saying, I get that you want to bowl. I don't like the idea. We did it last year. I'm sorry.
I saw the tape because he's not answering the question.
What did he say?
You know what, Scott? I can't talk about this now. I got to deal with some stuff, and he lied.
No, right. That's what he said. I said he could have ended it by saying what I just said, but he said, you know what? I'm going to go in the back. I'm tired.
He avoided you at first.
I'm crying.
Scott, this is Fitzsimmons logic you're using.
I was going to say,
Of course he avoided me. And I didn't appreciate that.
Didn't you think that Greg Fitzsimmons sounded like an idiot when he went through his whole thing with the book and Howard? I mean, didn't you think so? As an objective observer?
But Greg doesn't work for him for 26 years.
Because you sound exactly like him right now.
But Greg doesn't work for him for 26 years.
All right, so
this is like maybe the first request in all that time that I've made like
All right,
this.
so Howard avoids the question, what's your next move?
He said, let me talk to Tim and Gary.
So now you're waiting on Howard
So
to
I
get
waited
back
again.
to you?
I can give you a little bit of background on this, by the way. I can give you a tiny bit of background. Scott came to me to ask me about it, and I put Scott off.
Right.
I
he
knew
said,
hold on. Let me finish it.
Go ahead.
I knew the answer was no. Tim, for some bizarre reason, I said, Tim, did you talk to Scott yet? Because he came to me. And Tim's like, yeah, well, we have to discuss it. And I had to remind Tim that we had discussed it. So Tim was a little slow getting the answer. And I could have said something to Scott, but it was actually, it's Tim's place to say it. Like, I didn't want to cut Tim's legs out. Tim is the one who should be having the discussion with him. And then when I heard Tim this morning, when I was talking to Tim, and Tim said, I said, Tim, what did you say to him? And he goes, not a good idea. I told him no. I go, well, did you tell him no, or did you tell him it's not a good idea? And while I don't think that Scott should misinterpret it any other way, not a good idea is no, I don't know why Tim didn't just say the answer's no.
Right. So Tim didn't say no to you, but he did say,
he said, let me advise you as a friend.
So
even you said today.
But even you said you're not his friend today.
Well, I'm not his friend, but what does that mean? I mean, does it?
It sounds
is
like
he giving me like an unofficial answer, not officially?
What do you think?
What do you think,
you
man?
want this is like Richard Christie does this sometimes.
I'm
want this
I'm
so
being
bad.
very particular here.
Yeah, you want this so bad that you don't want to read between the lines.
I didn't want to read between the lines.
You know what you are? You're the chick at the door who's crying and go, tell me to leave. I won't believe that we're over it, so you tell me to leave.
So he said drop the issue.
No, really?
He said drop the issue, so I dropped the issue.
That's what happened to you guys.
Howard's not interested in covering it for radio, television. Fine. Right. I got it. Okay. Let me see if I can get some vacation time off for those 3 days that I needed to.
Okay. So let's pick up there.
Yeah.
Who in the history of the show of the very main players do you know that's ever taken vacation time when the show is on?
Robin. Well, actually, she didn't, but Howard, I just thought of this. Howard actually moved his vacation so Robin can go to Guatemala.
Right.
Last year, he moved a vacation week for her. She had to go to Guatemala.
I got it.
You know that.
So you think you
asked me a question and I gave you an answer. I didn't expect him to move the week. No.
But then why'd you bring it up?
Well, you answered. You asked me a question.
Okay.
Who
should Howard have moved the week?
I didn't know. He shouldn't move.
Okay,
well,
so then
actually, okay, let him move the week.
No. So we got that.
So let's say Howard said yes to that. You don't have an issue taking 3 personal days or 2. I don't know how many days
vacation
during a week that we're on live. You have no problem with that.
Well.
Someone using your office, you're bored.
Yeah, do you think about the message it sends in terms of you needing to be here?
So one time I was out for a medical issue for a few days.
Which absolutely, that's what
fine.
personal days.
Last year he sent me to Vegas, so I was out for 4 days for that. So obviously someone did fill in for me those 2 times. I just made a request. I didn't think making a request was such a horrible thing.
It wasn't. The request isn't a horrible thing. The not taking no the first 5 times, you got a mostly an 85 to 90% no, and not hearing what you want to hear. That's where it gets weird.
I see him in a minority here, but I just thought that I wanted to go. Okay.
No, that we got.
Yeah.
I got that you wanted to go, and you were being what you were was being very. You started to become passive aggressive about it, like you got to tell me no. when everybody tried to tell you no in a way that wouldn't hurt your feelings, that wouldn't make you feel bad, that wouldn't be dicky, and then it all came to this today, which nobody really wanted it to come to, but you.
And you stormed in there. There was an angry Scott who walked in there today, yelling at Howard, telling him who. I mean, you were putting Howard in his place.
So the thing started 5 or 6 weeks ago when I first was approached, and I asked the question, and the answer, if I would have gotten 5 or 6 weeks ago, that would have been the end of it.
But most people, everybody but you thought you did have the answer.
Well, no, I didn't get an answer.
You got an answer.
Tim,
you just didn't hear it.
Tim, were you giving Scott friendly advice, or were you politely telling him, no, drop it, move on?
I was politely telling him to drop it, move on. And because the thing is that we have a modified schedule now. And, we all need to be here, period, end of story. And I told him the time that I was in Minnesota when I came late because of my father, and Howard was giving me, shit for that. But it's right. I mean, right is right. We're here to work. And,
I get
the
it.
Show is on. When the show is on, he needs us here to support the show.
I thought wasn't unreasonable.
Nobody's saying that. We're saying that you got it
today.
No, you got an answer 5 weeks ago.
I didn't get an answer
from Doug and from
a
Tim.
non-answer is no answer in my world.
But you eventually did get the answer of no, they don't want Howard TV covering it, because you said you came to this conclusion somehow, right?
Well,
so
drop the bowling issue.
Once you got
drop the bowling issue for the TV and radio, which I did.
And then you continued to try
when you're told to drop the bowling issue, and then a day later you put in for vacation to go bowling, you're not dropping the bowling. You're dropping the TV angle of it, trying to get a free trip, but you haven't dropped the bowling
get a free
angle.
trip. That has nothing to do with it.
I get that. But do you recognize that you want this so bad that you may not be thinking clearly? Because you do want it bad. I understand that.
Of course I do. And I'm still disappointed, but I understand that, they want me here. They need me here. And
By the way. But it seemed like, in a Sal sort of way, it took Howard to come on in the air, say, what the hell are you emailing me for? I am saying no. Doug's in the room. Gary's in the room. You talked about Tim.
I needed to be hit over the head with a hammer.
Did you really, though?
Well, no. I 99% knew the answer was no, obviously, but I gave it another shot, thinking maybe I could change his mind. Maybe, he's like, all right. For this.
So you did hear no then, because you're trying to change his mind.
Well, I didn't hear. Heard no for what I heard no for was the TV and the radio don't want to cover it. It's not interesting. It's boring. We don't need to cover it.
I think people are missing the larger context of this isn't just one Scott incident, and the ability to read between the lines or understand what someone's trying to tell you something in a nice way is essential, not just to work on the Howard Stern show, but in business in general. But I think that this has nothing to do with bowling. This is my whole theory.
You're such a douchebag. What? I mean, really.
Wait, you don't like my theory.
Wait, hold on. Let him give his theory.
Do you
and then
not want
yell
me to
at
say
him.
it's not about bowling, or it's all about bowling, Scott?
Okay, but
I think he has a real problem taking orders from Tim. I've seen it. I know that Scott got upset. He wanted to hire somebody one time, and Tim said no, and he fucking flipped out about it in a very real and scary, loud way. I know one time Tim asked Scott for if he had any ideas how to upgrade his studio. Scott gave him some. I know Tim took some of the ideas and didn't take some of the other ideas, and I know Scott flipped out about that. Why do you ask me my advice if you're not going to take all my... I think the real issue is between Tim and Scott and has nothing to do with bowling.
Well,
I think, my opinion is that there's some underlying issue with Scott that he feels a victim and always a victim. And there are certain things that go on in our area that there are processes in place and things take time, like equipment needs to be approved. But Scott, instead of asking, would rather blow up and pop off than find out what the real answers are. But there's some underlying issues that I think you feel victimized all the time. I really do. You're a good guy. I like you, and I try to work with you and try to develop a relationship with you. When I hear that I'm not your friend, I'm not here to be friends, but I'd like to get along with people that I work with. But I think you like to put yourself in a victim state. So that's my opinion.
Okay, well, that's fine. That's your opinion. Getting back to what Jason said, of course, it's a thrill to bowl with professional bowlers. If you had some passion, or if Gary was given an opportunity to play in a real baseball game with the Mets.
I was saying my thing was like I got to go on tour with Bruce Springsteen. That would be the same thing.
And would Howard let you go do it?
That's a passion that I have. Or Bruce said, Gary, come to the
I want you to play sax for me
not even
instead
play
of
sax.
Clarence Clemens.
Come stand on the side of the stage this day. I want you to be my personal guest.
Would Howard let you take a week off of work to go play saxophone with Bruce Springsteen?
He wouldn't. No.
Okay, so there you go.
But
okay, but I approached this as we did it last year. Howard sent me out there, which was.
But that question was answered pretty early. That it doesn't work for the show.
Okay, well, that's fine. I get it. And the PBA said, regardless of whether the TV show or radio show is covering it, you're welcome to bowl. That's what they.
See, this is where you fall off the tracks because nobody cares what the PBA thinks.
Well, I'm just telling you.
I'm being very blunt.
Are you aware what the PBA is?
I'm just telling you what. I'm just telling you.
Police Benevolent Association.
I was offered again.
No, we understand that, but
Right.
we know what they
bald.
want. But we know what they want. But that has nothing to do with what we want.
I know what they want too. I mean,
don't they have authority over the situation?
But Scott? What about what Tim said? I mean, because Tim's not the only person who has said that before. Are you playing the victim all the time?
In fact, quite honestly, it was said pretty often before Tim ever worked with us.
I don't try to play the victim. Okay, I don't try to play the victim.
Leave it to the victim.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott.
No, I don't try. I don't want to be a victim. So, that's all I'm going to say on that.
Well, because what Jason was also inferring is that there's an underlying thing going on between the two of you.
That's what I
There's
think
no
it's
doubt about it. And at some point, I don't know how much time we have left on the wrap-up show, but at some point, it's you guys are going to have to deal with it because I see it every day. And there's a thing going between, I don't know, I think that both of you think the other one doesn't respect each other.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think there's a missing level of respect coming from both of you. And you guys won't talk.
And I'm not saying that Tim doesn't respect Scott. I'm saying
I took Scott out to lunch the other week.
Yeah,
I'm saying that Scott does not feel respected by Tim, and I know that Tim doesn't feel respected by Scott.
I think we have disagreements. I mean, I try to request something. I don't want to get into it on the air. That's not right.
But this guy just took you out to lunch, and he said, and then you go right back and say, "I'm not his friend."
Did that hurt Tim when you heard Scott say that today? I would imagine that it did.
Tim, take me out to lunch. I'm your friend.
We'll work it out.
Are you guys on Facebook? Are you friends?
No.
Scott untags pictures with Tim.
The bowling is strictly me and not anybody else. That it's a great thing in my life.
I get it. I get it.
It really has nothing to do with anybody else. So, it personally, it was a great experience, and I wanted to do it again.
Okay. What I would say is I think that every single person on this show could come up with an example of something that they really wanted to do that would make them be away from work.
I know, but they don't have that opportunity.
And they
I have the opportunity.
No, we've all had the opportunity.
Now, Richard, I'm almost positive that Richard's had opportunities to go on tour for 3 months at a time.
Oh, 3 months. I mean,
listen, it's a passion,
3
right?
days.
Oh.
But I mean, we've all had. Like I said, I've had the opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. I've been given the tickets, and I was invited to go on somebody's private jet.
Like I told
and it
you,
still didn't get me home in time.
I don't think it hurts to ask. Okay, you've been here so long. I don't think it hurts just to at least ask and get an answer that somebody respected your answer. And all I said was, somebody could have come to me and said, "We appreciate that you want to go, but we'd rather have you here with the shows this week. We need you. You're important to the show."
But there's no knowing that.
And no one appreciated that.
That's right.
There's no knowing that because it was said. Well, because he told you to finish.
Scott, who's your issue with? Is it with Doug? Is it with Tim? Is it with Howard, Gary,
Jason?
I think it's with Howard because even before when he was arguing with Tim in the hallway, he said all he needed to do was give me the answer, and this would have been done 5 weeks ago.
Howard said on the air he didn't want to look like the bad guy. I mean, maybe he looks worse by not giving me an answer.
Do you think that's the case?
I feel that not giving me an answer is disrespecting me. And anybody else he doesn't give an answer to. Well, that's the way he works. That doesn't work for me. I mean, I get it. I don't make requests from him. I think this is the first request I've made in 26 years.
But it's not. It's not. And I can't think of the others. But do you think that every office operates any differently? Yeah.
No. No. I mean, yes, I think that people would make a request and they would get an answer. To be ignored to be ignored is worse than getting a no.
But what about if your request is unreasonable?
I don't think it was unreasonable. That's the thing. I don't think it was unreasonable.
And that's where I think there's a really big difference. To say, can I take time off after you know that it's not good for the show? I understand that part. But I want to take time off to go do what I want to do. You know, we all want to do that. That's an unreasonable request.
With this modified schedule, it's even more important that we're here for the shows. It's even more important that we're here and we don't miss it unless it's an emergency, a personal family emergency or some type of emergency.
Hey, I'm Medicated Pete on Wednesday's wrap-up show. We talked about BB Jones and other things that came up on Howard's show this morning. Check it out.
I do want to start with BB Jones and what happened with her. And Gary, I think not a lot, but a few porn stars come in here and they'll say, oh, they'll bang anybody, they'll do this, they'll do that. I guess Tabitha was certainly one who put her money where her mouth was. But with BB Jones, she is willing to bang anyone, anywhere, anytime, unprotected. And
that makes her a little tiny bit less attractive to me, but she's really a very pretty girl.
But to some people, it makes her even more attractive.
Well, you know, I don't know. It's easy and quick, but do you really feel good about yourself when you're done, or do you care?
Well,
some guys don't care.
You see, that's the question. If you're young and single and working on this show, this seems like a pretty good. You can bring your own condom. This seems like a pretty good opportunity. Yet, Ganji, JD, Benji all said no, and I want to know why.
Howard didn't understand. I sort of got where they were coming from, and I never really had to deal with this back in the day. But the whole, you know, I think that I understand Benji saying, like, girls will say, they'll Google you. They find out you banged a porn star, and it's, you know, they're like, hey, I can fuck a lot of guys. Why should I fuck a guy who fucked a porn star? So again, we're the other thing is too, we're like deep in the porn star world. We're not in porn, but we know a lot of porn stars, and you know, there's some women and guys who've never met porn stars, and they think it's a really dirty business. And I'm just saying it's a perception of other people. So I think I sort of get like, I really understand Ganji saying that girls have Googled him. I found out he fucked Kendra Jade.
Yeah,
that's a turn off.
Ganji, your checkered past really has done some damage, it seems.
So, just a prime example, the last girl I was dating, the first thing she brought up on our first date was that she Googled me and saw that I slept with this porn star.
And what did you? How do you deal with that?
She wanted to know about it, and I'm like,
so what do you say?
I was like, oh yeah, it was a really, really long time ago. It wasn't that major, and I do the whole, oh, she wasn't a porn star at that point. She was only a stripper, which made me feel like in my mind.
That makes it so much better.
Right.
It was a year after me that her and her stepmother banged Jerry Springer and taped it. Really?
Right.
Not to, did anyone ever bring that up?
No, because they don't ever make that connection. But all it does is you see like Kendra, porn star, and I slept with her. And that's the first thing that literally comes up when you Google my name. And the other thing is, you know, so it causes a problem. I mean, like it freaks regular girls out.
How many times does that come up?
I'd say 2 or 3 times.
And girls can't look past that, huh?
Regular girls have a problem looking past that for some reason.
See, now for JD, it's different because
no, it's not.
You've dated a porn star.
No, I didn't date her.
You liked her, and you would have dated her.
I've liked a lot of.
What was
girls.
that girl's name? The one that you were pretty
Kimberly
friendly?
Kane.
Kimberly Kane.
So like would you go out to? Would you take Kimberly Kane, say, to Howard's Christmas party if you were dating her?
Yeah, if I was dating her.
So she's
sure.
a porn star. The girl today is a porn star. What's the difference in the way people look at you?
Because I don't know. You got me.
No, but I think it's a legitimate question. In other words, you're willing to date porn stars.
Yeah. Listen, well, first of all, if she has sex with a lot of guys,
but
a lot.
But Kimberly Kane,
many porn stars do.
It's protected. She's having sex with Janet.
So it's the unprotected sex.
That's a big thing.
Okay.
And second of all,
I don't think she's interested in me. Otherwise, she would have gotten back to me when I tried to contact her.
No.
I didn't try and contact her like once and never again. I tried to call her a couple times. I texted her.
I think you played that all wrong. I don't think she's really interested in anybody. I think you have to call her, remind her that you want to have sex with her, you want to talk dirty to her. I think
you have to work it.
I think she's putting it out to everybody. She forgets who she talks to.
Wait, JD, what did you do? Like, how did you try and get in touch with her?
I called her.
And then what'd you say?
I
One
can't remember.
time?
I left a message.
And so did you expect her to call you back and go, hey, JD, let's rock out with your cock out?
She left me a voicemail wanting phone sex. Well, yeah.
Right. Okay, so what'd you do?
I called her and I left her voicemail. I remember what.
But how long after?
Probably that in the next morning.
But you didn't try
as soon as after I got home from work.
You didn't try to text her or follow up besides that?
Yes, I did.
Well, what did you do? How many times did you text her?
I like a few, but if you don't get a response each time, what are you gonna do?
So at what point did you give up?
I don't know, like a month or so.
But how many times would you say you tried either voicemail or text? How many times?
Like 5 times, maybe.
So so if you had gotten a hold of her that night and did a little phone sex, do you think you would have made the next move into actually meeting up with her?
Sure, probably. Maybe. Yeah.
Benji, you weren't here, but the question is, you 3 guys, you're single. Like, why not go for BB?
When Marianne from Brooklyn called and said, no, how can you say it's a stigma? It's not a stigma to me, but it's a stigma to how other women.
Why do you
look
care?
at it?
Because you don't usually seem to care about those things.
I care because I think BB's very attractive. I don't know her personally she seems cool, but it's like for basically like a one-time thing. Like maybe she's in New York twice a year, 3 times a year. I don't know how often.
Okay.
So for this one-time fuck of a hot girl, is it worth how much harder it is going to make for other relationships?
But Benji, you've been on the air and openly talked about anonymous sex that you get off of websites. Why is that so different?
First of all, I don't do that anymore. I don't bring it up anymore, and I don't do it anymore. First of all. But second of all, it is different when it becomes a very tangible, real thing. Oh, sorry. When it becomes a very tangible, real thing with a person that people know who it is.
Right.
Now, I have interesting breaking news. I don't know if this has come up. And I checked with Howard to make sure it was cool to bring up.
Okay.
She rejected Pete.
How so?
What?
She said she wouldn't fuck him.
When did she say that?
This is what now I'm getting this secondhand from TV guys.
Pete, get over here. Go ahead.
Oh, Pete, I didn't know you were in here, so I don't know if you know this. And this is what I heard, so maybe it's not true. I don't know.
No, that's first I've heard of that.
Well, hold on. But let's start. Pete, how did you leave it off with her?
I said sure.
So did she give you a number to contact her, email address?
No.
So how are you figuring you're going to get in touch with her?
I don't know. I mean, I would have thought
signals?
that. Yeah.
So, Ganji, you're like one of the main guys at Howard TV. What's going on here? Is this true?
I don't know. The behind the scenes guys were following them around, so I'm assuming that's when it happened.
So Benji, what do you know?
Well, this is Lee. He's one of our TV guys.
Yeah. What's up?
Not much, Pete. How you doing?
About this news, what's
So Lee told me. I said to Lee, this was maybe he's coming down. I'm sorry. I said to Lee Garowitz, I said, "Oh, did Pete leave with BB?" And he goes, "No, actually." She said, and Pete,
just say it,
that she didn't want to. She wasn't interested in having sex with Pete. Now I don't know if she just said just Pete specifically or anyone here, or I don't know how that goes. And I saw Howard on the way out because I wanted to check with him to make sure it was cool to bring up, and he said it's cool. So, but I didn't get that firsthand.
I mean, she clearly agreed on the air. I mean, after Pete serenaded her, and she was all up for it. Doug, do you know what's going on here?
Yes. She's claiming the
Can't hear you.
How's that mic?
Oh, the thing on my face?
The open sore is the problem. Not his.
What is that, by the way, Pete? We were sort of talking about that.
I don't
There's an
actually
open
know
sore
what
on your
it
face.
is. I went to the doctor yesterday and had it checked out.
And he said what?
I got some antibiotics. So
what did he say?
It was just like some sort of pimple that I squeezed and it just pussed all over. And
so
that might be the reason why. Pete.
Do you think the open sore is an excuse?
No,
I don't know. I will tell you that we looked at it before, and Pete, don't take this the wrong way. He does sort of look like an AIDS patient. You know what I mean? With that big sore. I'm serious.
How does he take that the right way, Gary?
A handsome age patient, though.
No, so she doesn't know you the way we know you.
Yeah,
and maybe,
obviously.
And so I look at that and I go, Pete banged into the wall or something. But maybe it's a little scary to her. But this is a woman who doesn't mind unprotected sex.
We finally found that. Bibby
that's kind of weird.
Bibby has a line, and Pete is that line.
He's the Mendoza line.
Yeah.
So if Ganji has this sore or Benji has this sore, let's say, do you think it would have prevented this from happening?
That's
pop a pimple real quick.
No, that's a very good question. I don't know. John, I guess the question you're asking is it the sore or is the sore just an out in general?
That's right.
Well, I mean, we could ask her, like, will you do it when the sore is healed?
Yeah, well, based on her rap today on the show, I wouldn't think that would stop her, but I guess I'm wrong. Shirley, do you have breaking news on this?
I don't know. I was just going to confirm what Benji said because I interviewed her after she got off the air, and she confirmed with me that she was not down to bang Pete.
But did she tell you the lesion or the sore?
Yeah, she says I don't know what the sore is, and I said I think it's just a scratch. Could be AIDS. I don't know.
See, don't you think BB should have had the class to tell Pete face to face, or at least let him know before she left? That's not right.
Doesn't sound like the conviction of a girl who fucked a janitor at the movie theater.
Well, maybe you say maybe she felt, maybe it wasn't the smartest way to do it, but maybe she felt it was nicer to say yes on the air and to reject.
And then to just never call him again.
Yeah.
Pete, would you rather that, or would you rather her tell you face to face?
Face to face, rather than secondhand.
Well, the second hand is not her fault. That's my fault. That I didn't even realize you were here.
Right,
when
he
I
wouldn't
said
even been aware of it if Pete wasn't here.
Then he would have never known. He would have just kept calling her and texting her for a month.
We're just kidding, man. She's gonna fuck
Thanks,
you.
Gare.
Huh?
We're just kidding. She'll fuck you.
Are you giving me shit or?
Yeah, but I just want you to feel good and stuff, man. We'll get you laid.
What's the all right? Well, come on.
No, I'm confused.
No,
I'm
we're not.
confused too.
We'll get you laid. I'll get you laid.
Wait,
I'll get you laid today.
Pete, Benji's trying to let you down easy here. Essentially, she said that she doesn't want to bang you because of that sore. I mean, that's what
I
this
don't know.
comes down
Listen,
to.
this is like I said.
Well,
Everything I heard is
if that's
secondhand.
true coming from her, then that's obviously true. But
Now, do you think maybe she sensed that you wanted more than just a banger, Pete? Because I know a lot of times you sort of go down the relationship route once you meet a girl.
Well, I was like, after the show, I was like, well, to the camera guys, I was like, well, we'll see where this goes, It's not a guaranteed relationship, but,
I don't think of her and think of the word relationship at all.
At all.
Just like, have some fun and make one thing leads to another.
You're already going too far for her.
Because she did say if she banged you, she wanted you to leave right after.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't take offense to that. That's
that wasn't just you, Pete. I mean, she
that's
said
what she wants. That's what she wants.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way she operates.
But I mean, do you understand that this is a pure sex thing? That it's not a relationship thing? And I mean, certainly for her, and I figured for you, this is like let's have sex and then beat it. Do you understand that, or do you think that it could be more?
No, I totally understand that it would be just
because you just 2 seconds ago said let's see where it goes.
Just let's fuck and then but conversation can if
you've already gone too far.
But I
she doesn't want to have a conversation.
Who knows?
But I don't know if this is Pete's fantasy at all. Like to me, a girl like that, a little bit of fantasy would be, you'd be so fucking good and so blow her away that she'd like, fuck, I gotta fuck this guy.
Yeah, see, I've never had that fantasy. I don't think I could be that good.
I think you could.
I don't know.
All right, let's go to the phones.
It's worth the shot.
Jim, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, you know, the one guy with the balls to fucker's got a damn open sore. Jesus, I can't believe there's single guys on the Howard Stern show that won't fuck this broad.
Hey, I always forget your name. I know you're from
Jim?
NC.
This is Jim.
Jim, yeah. But
Sure.
Jim, do you have a girlfriend or?
I do.
Okay, so let's say you were single, but you were in our position, or like we're not exactly famous, but like reality show famous. So
In a New York minute, Benji.
What's that?
In a New York minute.
But wait,
All right.
so Jim, knowing that if you fucked her, that on Monday we're going to drag in the studio. I go, you fucked her. We want every little detail. We want to hear about it. So now everybody that listens to the show will know that you had sex with this porn star who sleeps with a lot of people, and a lot of them are protected. That's cool for you?
Well, it brings notoriety to yourself, and it's something for the show. When you're working for the show, you've got to do that kind of thing. Look at her.
you don't have to do
No,
it.
yeah, exactly.
She's fantastic looking. I mean,
She
she's
is,
not-
but it's a
like-
one-time. It's basically a one-time thing.
Jim, are you saying that
makes it harder for next time?
Are you saying that some of the guys on the show aren't fulfilling their obligation? Seriously, because that's what it sounds like.
We're not being team players.
Right.
We're not fucking BB Jones.
Yeah, I mean, Gary, you and Howard should actually make it a stipulation that somebody.
Someone's got to get fired.
She's going to be there in Flushing, New York. She's going to be there all weekend.
All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, and so about 50 other guys probably.
Ganj, if you knew it wouldn't be found out, I think you said you would
Absolutely. If she came up to me at a bar and I didn't know she was a porn star, or even if I kind of found out that she was, and it wasn't part of the show, we were somewhere else, I would absolutely.
Okay,
go.
but okay, so let's take this a step further. You probably know how to get in touch with her.
Yeah,
Without
right.
anybody knowing. Would you ever try to pull that off?
No, because I feel like it nowadays with the Howard 100 News and everything else, that's not a possibility. Back in the old days, absolutely, things can be kept quiet. Nowadays, no.
I did try contacting her
Yeah.
without anyone knowing, and she didn't just contact me back.
Right. Can I
So-
ask JD a question?
Oh, God.
JD, would you be more into her if she was only into you? Like, does it bother you that she
If
was like she was
if
with
she was
Benji?
somewhat into me, period. I don't believe that she was into me, and I believe her saying she wanted me to fuck me or whatever was her. She didn't mean it.
But if you thought she did, and she wasn't interested in Benji and me and 50 other guys, but only you, would you go through with it?
Maybe. I'm taught. Yeah.
So you
maybe.
don't like when they don't show you the attention. If she shows attention to anybody else, you don't like that.
Attention like that, it's a little weird. I'll fuck. Yeah.
Pete, same question.
Something like that. I don't know.
Yo.
Same question.
What's up? Do me a favor, just repeat the question.
No problem.
Yeah.
Would you? I have a feeling that's not the first time in his life he said that.
JD is saying that it makes a difference. Like someone asked, well, why would you go out with Ashley Dupree, who is a known escort, who knows what she did
She was a
before.
former escort at the time, by the way.
A known escort, and who knows what she did at the time, versus someone like BB, who's just, admits to what she's doing. Is there a distinction between the two for you?
Yeah, somebody that doesn't admit it, I'll be more inclined to probably go out with, whereas someone who openly admits it, that would be a little, I don't know, I'd be a little